What's up, Leslie?
Hey, Lisa, that was an awesome intro.
Yeah, that was cool. I really liked it. You have
Yeah,
such a great creator,
you
designer.
too. So professional. I love it.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I got that today, so I was like, oh, let's see if everybody likes it. Y'all like it? What's happening, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Are they dressing up like clowns and playing with stuffed unicorns? No.
What'd you say, Lisa?
Peculiar says, are they dressing up like clowns and playing with unicorns? That's peculiar for you. Leave it to peculiar to be saying something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to Mischief Monday. And I guess we'll just start with that. Leslie, what is up with the wigs?
Oh, God. Okay, here. So everybody can understand this. I was getting you guys. Okay, this is how I was always presenting, right? I think I looked very conservative, and I was getting attacked in every form imaginable, being called a clown, being called
Right.
duck lips, the whole thing. So I said to myself, well, if
Give it
anyone,
to him.
what'd you say?
Give it to him.
Well, I said, if anyone's going to make fun of me, let me be the first to make fun of me.
Exactly.
Right? So
Exactly.
So I said, I'm going to take the wind out of their sail, and everything that they have called me, I'm just going to amplify.
Right. There you go. And you did, for sure.
and here's like a hidden secret, Lisa, which I was telling you about. Little did they know what they tapped into with me, because I was in theater as a kid and dance and TV and all of that stuff. So we always had to dress up and play characters and whatnot. So it was like, I was like a kid in a candy store. As soon as I decided to do that, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It's funny. I like it.
But now I'm getting requests for superheroes.
Yes. She actually got a request to dress up as what was it, Power Ranger or something,
I'll tell you
Power
right
Girl.
now. It was Power Girl. And I guess it's from they were telling me that I might end up being in San Diego for Comic-Con next year. Power Girl, which I laugh. But anyways, no, but it was a sweet request. And I do like playing dress. I mean, I have kids too, and the kids love it. It's like Halloween every day, right? And so especially with the Dr. Seuss, that was the best.
Yeah,
you guys
do those, keep going with the tales, the nighttime tales.
If you guys really listen to what I'm doing, okay, aside, if you can get past the appearance of it, you actually listen to what I'm doing. If you notice, Adolfo, okay, is kind of like Hales personality, very like, and then I am like the mom type of figure, and I'm kind of talking like, no, don't you do that to Mr. Hales now. He's so and the thing is that it's actually satirical, but it's actually, I think, pretty intelligent. Like it's basically making a mockery in a fun way of the reality of what's going on, because it's so juvenile, and it's so crazy, because if you guys know anything about Dr. Seuss, their books are like on character, on not bullying, and all these things, and that just goes all the way back to childhood. So I've already decided that what is it, Lisa? Once a week, I'm going to do night talk for little Hales, and I'm going to read a bedtime story from Dr. Seuss every week.
I think it's funny.
And I sent it to him, by the way. I sent it to him, Lisa.
Did you?
I don't know if you've seen it.
Did you get a see you in court response again?
No, he's totally ignored me. And that's actually funny, because remember how I was telling you guys, I kind of decided to do this to take the wind out of their sail. I've noticed they haven't been roasting me since I started. It's not as much as like I went onto Facebook. Normally there was just piles and piles of roasts about me, like crazy looking pictures where they enhance my lips and do whatever they want to do. And since I started doing this, they're attacking everybody else, and I'm not seeing much of me on there anymore. So now what I'm thinking, Lisa, and I don't know, you can tell me, they might be concocting some other roast that they don't think that I could want them on.
Right.
Dude, you see what I'm saying? They're probably thinking of like, well, what else can we
Exactly. Pem said if they're gonna act like two children, read them Dr. Seuss.
exactly? That's what I'm saying. Like it's so juvenile.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
so simple, and that's why I'm doing it because it's got a positive message,
Yeah.
and you know what I
It
mean. And
does. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I like when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my god, what is she doing?
you call me up, Lisa. You're like, Leslie, you are crazy, and I was like, I know, girl, I know. I'm like, listen, I'm like, you wouldn't be the first person that told me that, you know. I can't be normal.
The first one was the green hair.
Yeah, the
And then
trolls.
the pink hair. Yeah. And then
I'm like,
what was the last one?
oh,
No,
I'll
the
tell
last
you.
one
I've
was
got
Dr.
here's
Seuss.
this is the wig for the trolls. Okay.
Right.
And then this is the wig. Where is it? Hold on. This is the wig for Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
And then I had a pink wig for My Little Pony.
Yes, My Little Pony.
And see, what they didn't realize is I've already had all these wigs. You might want to ask why. Oh, why does she have all these wigs, right? I have like no joke. I have a bin of like 150 wigs because I got a little carried away buying wigs one year. Then I ended up doing I produced and launched this magazine a couple of years ago. We did this big fashion show. So all the models, I had all the wigs for all the models and everything. This is just kind of a sidekick I did. It was just fun. But yeah, I already have all these wigs. I've got so many. I have beehive wigs. Like beehives. I've got yeah, just every wig imaginable, Lisa.
You know, it's funny because like when you work, like you said, you did theater and stuff and dancing and stuff, and sometimes people may not realize when you're actually in the entertainment industry, so many different things pop up along the way that you end up getting involved in. Like I worked on records, I worked on I worked on singles, I worked on albums, I worked on concerts, I worked on radio, I worked on marketing. So I did retail marketing. I did, so many different things you walk into. You could be doing a concert, and the next thing you're doing a music awards show, or you're doing, you know what I mean? So it's like a where you are, what's happening. All of a sudden, boom! Here's something else they want to get involved with,
Exactly.
So it's like I've done like so many different things, So you being, yes, you're a lawyer, great. Well,
a lot. Believe it or not, you guys, a lot of lawyers had entertainment. Here's something crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even realize.
I know so many musicians who went into the legal field and is lawyer.
And like actors, and then listen to this, even after, like a lot of lawyers that retire their license end up getting into screenplay writing. I can't tell you how many, when I started to get into screenplay writing, I can't tell you how many other lawyers I met that were doing the same exact thing, like actually writing like scenes of movies and everything. And then something else to note too, because of course, they all were going off about me wearing wigs. And Lisa, we were talking about, people used to wear wigs all the time. It was fun, right?
Oh my gosh.
They did all the time.
My mother's heyday, like all about like the makeup. Like she was a beautician when she was younger. When she first graduated high school, she was a beautician. She had all that beehive stuff. As a matter of fact, she told me a story. Her and my dad were out one time, right? And they were talking to her, and she walked away from her or something, and he went to grab her, and he pulled her hair, and her hair came up in his hand. And back then, guys didn't even realize that, you know what I mean? So he's standing there holding her hair, and he was like mortified.
Girl, no, trust me, I have stories. Oh, I have stories too. Yeah. I was at a club, and I was dancing a little too hard, and the wig popped off, and I had a wig cap underneath. Could you imagine that? Yeah. And
I did get to see some of your dancing, and you can move, girl. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Where did you see my dancing?
You had a video, and it showed something like a couple little clips in your dancing in there.
Oh my God,
so I know you can bust a move, and so I'm like, okay, well, I can believe the story if you had a wig on it.
Oh yeah, it popped right off. But
guys, she can dance.
Oh, I can dance,
she
guys.
Can freaking dance.
I mean, I can share it.
Like go up there, like with Taylor Swift or whatever, and the Britneys in the background, like the people in the back.
I was gonna tell you, if you go, I have a TikTok that has like a 10-second. Do you want to see it? A dance move? I'm just kidding. No, I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you. We'll do that another time. No, but what I was gonna say is what people don't realize too is a lot of the artists, like say Britney Spears or Madonna or any of those people, they all wear wigs, guys. That's all they wear: hair extensions, wigs, fake lashes. Like it's all theatrical. And so, that's why I was like, I have no problem. I have no shame doing it because that was the lifestyle that I grew up in. I'm sure you saw it too, Lisa. Even guys wore makeup and crazy stuff. Back
my
in
day,
the rock, you know what I'm saying? Like in the rock genre, But that's why I was like, when they were knocking on me for being a clown and wearing wigs, I'm like, do you guys not like watch music videos and like go to concerts? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So what? Wait, they're the only ones that are allowed to wear wigs, like
Right. No, but I think it's cool that there's a lot of like you're showing a lot of different sides of you, and I think that's pretty cool. No, because you're funny, you're fun, you're entertaining. You know what I mean? You're showing a lot of different sides on your channel, and that's great. I think what it is because law so well, and you can express it. It just surprises people. Like,
this wouldn't be the first time. This would not be the first time that I was roasted. Because when I was a lawyer, if you can imagine, I've always had oxymoron type of existences in my life. Listen to this, Lisa, you'll laugh. Back in my 20s, I was a chemistry and biology teacher. Okay. Now I only did it for 2 years because in the state of Florida, I'd have to go back and I'd have to get my permanent. But when I was doing that, which is really funny, I was in my 20s. I was dancing for the NBA Orlando Magic dance team, which is
really?
The basketball dance team. And so I would go to games in Orlando and I'd have my palms, I'd be dancing, and all of a sudden I'd students because I taught high school. So then it was like, then I became a lawyer, and then I was like making jewelry on the side. I was putting together fashion shows. But here's the thing. And I met this guy recently this last year, and he was very much like me, a really nice guy. And we were both talking. We're like, people limit themselves. They think that they have to pigeonhole themselves into one identity, and that's just who they are. And the sad thing is, you're usually taught that when you're a kid, that, oh, you're a science person, or, oh, you're an English person, or you're this person.
Hey, and Rich is in the chat.
Oh, hey, Rich. Rich, I think Rich could be a comedian. Oh my God. Let me tell you, Rich, you are I swear on my life, you are the funniest guy I think I've ever encountered. From just your whole, everything about you is just, you could be a stand-up comedian and really throw down with like the top of the top, because, too, with comedy, there's intelligence behind it. And you'll see I knew a lot of lawyers that did stand-up comedy because it's very logic can be humorous if you really think about it, Lisa, right? And so Rich probably has a knack for comedy anyways, just from being logically oriented in his brain, and then I love how he dresses. It just kills me. The funniest thing was that he did this thing where he was like trial by combat. If you guys haven't seen that video, he brings up, to me, this is one of the funniest things I think I've heard all year, and if not several years. He's in a video where he's holding like this like big, like it looks like a big like stone like hammer or something, right? And he's going like this, and he's like battling somebody, and he goes, they never got rid of trial by combat, so why not? Why can't I have a trial by combat? And I was dying. I don't know why. That's the funniest thing, because it's probably true. They haven't got rid of trial by combat. And why can't we have trial by combat?
We should.
Imagine.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So, okay. So actually, let me just I'm going to quickly refresh this thing here. I want to see if there's anything on it for the docket for today. No. Okay. So we thought that Bruce's motion was going to be filed today, and we can talk about that, but it's not been filed yet. So we don't have that. One thing that was supposed to have been updated on the docket. Now, this obviously is for the federal case, the federal 2 case with the 11 defendants. And Lisa has a crush on Leslie. Okay. Anyway, so the second, I don't know, I was reading the chat. So the second thing that should have been there today would have been my response to being served, right?
Yeah.
And that was actually, yes, I did file it. That was supposed to be done by today, but it's not showing on the docket. However, it was out for delivery today. So I don't know what happened, but I did, in fact, contact the judge's office and let them know that, if you're closed by 5 and it's not up there, it's there, and I have the tracking number, I have all the everything. So they know that, I did my due diligence. So that's what they needed to know. So if it's not shown up, or let's just say they get it in the morning, or it's scanned in the morning and shows tomorrow's date, they know it's already there. But
sorry, I just pulled up Pacer. So I'm on Pacer. And basically, I just looked at, and there's 6 cases under Jeremy Hales, because I just did a case search under his name, and
there's 6.
There's 6, but there's 3 cases over Oklahoma. This can't be him. Oklahoma Western Bankruptcy Court. That's probably a different Jeremy Hales. That was in 2021. But anyways, I just saw those 3. But I'll pull up yours so that I can tell you for sure. Hold on.
My static is worse. I still have static, guys. Hold on. See, I can't hear it, so I don't know. Hold on.
Okay. I have it. I have it pulled up, by the way, Lisa, the docket for you.
Are you hearing any? Oh, it's doing something. All right, hold on a second. Is it still static, you guys? La 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 la.
You know what it is? It's like an aftermath static. It's not any. It's almost sounds like it could be me. I wonder if it's me.
No, it was me the other night too. Some people are hearing it and some are not. Okay, does it have anything to do with that noise that I just turned off? Hello, hello, hello. You sound good here.
Yeah, it still sounds a little staticky.
It does? Okay.
A little bit, but it could be me though. It could be me. That's why I'm turning down my levels. Tell me, can you still hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay.
I did move wires, and then all of a sudden they set it. So it's only when Lisa talks. Okay. So I just moved these wires, and it really shouldn't have an effect to it, but we can see. Hold on. Yes, you still hear it. Is it worse?
I can't hear it now.
You can't hear it now?
No.
Okay. It's the same. Tammy's saying it's the same.
And you guys, I'm looking in the docket. The last thing that comes up is a notice of summons.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then there was, I'm pulling it up right now to look at it. I'm viewing the document.
It's nothing to worry about.
Raymond. That's what it says.
That's for Ray.
Okay.
Now, here's the question. A lot of people thought that if you weren't served, including myself, if you weren't served within 90 days, because in some places it's saying that you'd have to refile or whatever. But now, when you're looking at Florida in federal court, well, it shows that it's 120.
Well, so, normally, I've always known everything to be 120. But the federal's a little bit different. But I'm just looking because federal. They're usually federal is federal law, like across the country. Do you understand? Right. Like state laws, which is 120 days in Florida. But I'm looking here just to see.
Well, they have also a certain civil procedure for like the Northern District of Florida too, right?
You still go by the federal rules of procedure, and that's across the board. Like for instance, like it could be the same rules as you have different districts and stuff, and the case law might vary, but the procedure you're still going under the federal procedural manual.
Gotcha. All right, so then basically it's 120 days. It's not been 90.
I'm just looking. Yeah, I would think it was 120, but I'm just looking to see, because I know that you had said something about if you could, like, how long they would have until you can drop it, right? Without
Right.
prejudice. It just says
Only because certain people haven't been served. Like Jeremy keeps saying, Rich has been served, Robbie's been served. No, they haven't. Rich wasn't served, Robbie wasn't served, Ray wasn't served, Dave wasn't served, and I don't know about Patty, but they weren't served. Now they're trying to serve Ray, and the summons went out for Ray, probably because they figured they just got his address. So
okay, so federal is 90. I just looked it up.
Federal is 90.
Yep, federal is 90. It says in
well
federal.
then,
Sorry, because I haven't had any issues serving in federal court, so I haven't even looked into it. But
okay.
I know in my state of Florida, 120 days is for Florida for a civil state suit, right? But
Right.
For a federal civil suit, it says the time frame for serving a defendant is generally 90 days from the date that the complaint is filed. If service isn't completed within this period, the court must dismiss the action without prejudice against the defendant. The court may also order that service may be specified by a particular time. Previously, this is why we were confused. The rule changed. Previously, the time frame for federal court was 120 days, but it's since then been reduced to 90. So the law changed, I guess, 2015.
Okay, so basically, and that doesn't go from the day the complaint was amended. It goes from the day the complaint was filed.
The day it was filed.
Okay, so therefore, Ray, Robbie, not Rich, because Rich was added in the amended complaint. So Ray, Robbie, Super Dave, and Patty fall over under that 90, past that 90 days. It's past 90 days.
I'll tell you the exact day that, because if it falls on a weekend, it rolls over. So 90 days from this date. I love AI. So fast. Okay. May 24th, 2025. Yeah. That was the 90th day.
Yeah. Well, it's June 2nd.
Yeah. So they can dismiss it. They can move to dismiss since they haven't been served.
No, and then Ray still hasn't been served. But today, Shockett filed the summons for Ray. How could he do that?
Ray needs to go ahead. Ray needs to well, at this point, that would be an argument. You know what I'm saying? That he didn't serve him in time. So but see, the thing is it's without prejudice, which means he can always go and refile and see, because because you have all these defendants, the lawsuit's still going to go on. If it was just say against one person, it might be okay. If you don't serve him within this time, the whole case is done, right? But you still have the case is still alive because of the other defendants that are named in it. So even I would err on the side. I don't know, what the judge is going to do, but I would say that because even if he gets it dismissed for lack of service within 90 days, it's still done without prejudice. Do you understand? Which means they can still refile it and re-serve him.
Okay. I would figure they'd refile it anyway, or like file like some type of extension on the 90-day thing. That's what I would think. But
yeah. That's probably what's happening. But I'll tell you. Hold on.
But he should have done something about that rather than filing that summons now. Or does it even matter?
He should have asked for permission is what he should have done.
Right, before doing that.
Yeah, because he technically, that's an argument. It's an argument.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking here. So the last things that were filed was notice of summons.
Yeah. That's on Ray today.
Yeah. Then there was action required by magistrate, notified that action is needed. I can pull that. It's a motion to okay, here we go. This was Marla Hughes' motion to dismiss, and that was filed May 29th. And then there was action required there for her. Hold on for a second. Let me open this up because although she filed, I just want to see if there was an order. There doesn't say that there's an order.
No, I think she refiled the same thing.
That's just how they did it. They could have just said, because it said action, so maybe that's just how they type it in there. Because there's nothing new other than what she filed is what she filed. They just re-entered on the same day. They just did another procedural entry. But then I'm just looking. Okay, so then there was a motion for failure or motion to dismiss that was filed. I'm sure that was Helms's motion.
Yeah.
That was on the 28th. Okay. Then okay, so then it says set deadlines for motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, internal deadline for referral to judge if response not filed earlier. Okay, yeah, we have a case like this. Basically, they have so many days. He has until June the 11th, Shockett has until June the 11th to respond in opposition to Helms's motion to dismiss.
Right.
Okay, so so we will know what his counter argument will be by June 11th, 2025. And the nice thing about federal court is what's different from state court, say versus federal court, is most of the arguments are done on paper. And what that means is you're not going into court like you are going into court for state court, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So a lot of times what you're going to see in this circumstance is you're going to see that there's pending motions to dismiss. The plaintiff is going to have 15 days or however many days, you know, that the court allows them to have to respond in opposition. And then a judgment, unless they request an oral argument, a judgment will be made on paper by the court, meaning you will get something without even stepping in court, and you will know where the judge stands, or and if it gets referred to the magistrate, just so you guys understand the difference. If it gets referred to the magistrate,
it's already referred to the magistrate, only because of the related case from the federal case, the first federal case.
Okay.
That he's already on it. So it was kind of handed over to him. However, we, like, the defendants didn't get to agree or disagree to use the magistrate yet.
Yeah, that's a little peculiar because I wouldn't agree to the magistrate. And let me explain
At this
to
point,
you.
I wouldn't either. Based on the other case, I wouldn't.
Let me explain to you the difference. This is important for you guys to understand. This is very important for everybody to understand a difference between a judge and a magistrate, because I get this question all the time. A magistrate can only write a recommendation. They cannot write an order, right? Like what has to happen is they can make a recommendation, a report and recommendation, but the judge still has to approve it. Okay. So if you get, say,
so every time he puts an order out, his district judge is approving it.
The district judge can only put the order out, not the magistrate. The magistrate can do a report and recommendation. Then that report and recommendation gets sent to the judge. Now, a party, if they're not in agreement with the report or recommendation, I know in Florida state court, we do what's called exceptions to magistrate. And that means we're basically contesting the magistrate's report. And that has to be set for a hearing in front of the judge. And the judge has to decide whether the judge is going to adopt the report of magistrate. So it's kind of like a pecking order. When you deal with the magistrate, you're not like, if you were to go straight for the judge and the judge made, an order, that would be it. The only other place you could go after that is to appeal it into a higher court. Okay.
Right.
If you go to the magistrate and say they make a recommendation, it still has to go one step further to the judge, and the judge has to review.
Rule 72 objections and feds.
I'm sorry.
Richard says Rule 72 objections and feds.
I would have to look that rule up. Is that are you talking about for objections to magistrate, or?
I guess so.
I'll tell you. I'd have to pull the federal rules of civil procedure. So because I don't know that, like, I have a reference. I have an actual, like, federal rule book. Let me see if I can find it, because I can tell you exactly. Hold on. Federal.
That's the rule, Richard said.
Oh, he did say it. Okay, then he knows. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know him right off the top of my head. I got to look him up. I'm not in federal court.
I know it 100%.
Yeah, I know. Like in Florida state court, no problem. But federal court, you're not constantly in federal, unless you're constantly in federal court. It's hard sometimes to just know the rules right off the top. Unless
Rule 72, he said. To add answer DRD, the fake what the hell is saying Wes is coming on your channel for an interview. Is that a lie? Yes, it is. If he ends up doing it one day, I don't know, but right now that's not true. That's a lie. Let's go on.
Lisa, I don't know if this would be beneficial, or if you want, and if you don't want me to do it, just tell me no. Your docket's not that, like, the docket is not that voluminous. I could quickly just tell you from February to to where you are right now quickly, what procedurally has taken place in your case. And if there's anything important, I can pull it up. But like I said, I mean, if people want to know procedurally where you are, because I know, for instance, when I've listened to Hales's show at times, very sparsely, but when I have, he always seems to be telling his audience that he's winning and winning and winning and winning. And you guys are very much in the preliminary stages of your case. You haven't even gone past the motions to dismiss. You're in the very primary early stage of your case.
Super early. I mean, I've just been served, so I'm just responding.
Yeah, you guys are not, like, he has no business saying he's winning. And if he, like I said before, I think we've talked about this before, if he claims he's winning, like an interlocutory motion, so have you guys. Like, you guys are on equal playing. Like, it's not like he's not winning any more than you guys, nobody's winning right now.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that.
Go ahead now. If you want to look at the case,
I'll just tell you guys so you guys can understand procedurally. Like, and I'm not going to be long-winded in this, okay? Because this could get really boring. Trust me. Okay, so the lawsuit was actually filed February 23rd. I'm reading the docket right now. If you want me to share my screen, I can share the docket. Do you want me to do that?
Sure. Go
Hold on. How do I do that, Lisa? I don't even know.
It says present or invite.
Okay. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Share screen. Okay. There we go. Okay.
We're just discussing the case, dude. So she's not giving advice. She's educating.
Not legal advice. I'm reading to you guys what is going on. This is not legal advice. Legal advice would be you guys coming to me and asking me questions and me telling you how to litigate something and this and that. This is I'm just reading to you procedurally what is going on, and I'm going to give you an example so it makes sense to you, because this could be complex for somebody who's not a lawyer, but I'm going to break it down very quickly and simply so you guys can get a general idea of where this case is at. Can you guys see the screen right now?
No, but they will be. There you go.
Okay, so if you look at the very top, that's when the complaint was filed. Okay. Notice of summons, that's just summons. That just means that you can go serve somebody process. The civil cover sheet, that goes with the complaint. Amended documents. So he amended his complaint the next day after he filed his initial complaint. He amended it. Then he got another summons for all the people. And basically what a summons is, guys, you got to get a signed summons from the court before you can serve process on the person. So this is all standard. Okay. Then what ends up happening in March 13th, it's an order for reassignment of magistrate judge. So basically this would have been the time for you guys to contest, or I guess the order for reassignment. I'm not going to open the order right now, but it's just a reassignment of a magistrate judge. Okay. For the case, which is actually the same judge that we have on a case that we have litigated right now in the Northern District, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so then another summons was issued. Notice of appearance.
Hold on. Does that mean that we're not going to get the consent?
No. You guys, like, I have to look at the situation with the magistrate now. I would hope that. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to speak on this. I'd have to look up what the order. I'd have to read the orders before I could give anything on that. But I would definitely, like, it's up to you guys. Well, talk to your lawyers on that one, because I don't want to give advice on that. Notice of appearance, so you guys understand what that is. Notice of appearance just means that person got a lawyer. Okay. Joint motion for an extension of time to file an answer. This is, so you guys understand, this is very standard. You would be a jerk off to not give somebody an extension of time to answer. I know we talked about this at last Thursday's live that we talked about, but this is very standard. This is nothing. Okay. This just means that the person.
Oh, they did not consent to me having.
I know they didn't consent to you, because
they consented to everybody else, but not me.
Listen, all it is that you only have so many days to answer once you're served. All that is that just said, okay, we agree to let them have like 15 extra days or whatever extra days they needed to answer it. That's all that is. Okay. So then the order, now, if he's going around saying we won, an order granting extension of time, that's, if you consent, it's going to be granted 9 times out of 10. Okay. There's no winning of anything. And that's very standard. That's not even anything to even go into discussion over. Order denying without prejudice motion for an extension of time to answer. or otherwise pled. So this is something else. And I don't know the difference between, I'd have to open up those orders, but there was an order that granted it. And then there was an order that denied it, but it could be two different defendants. And I'm not sure. Okay. So, but it was done without prejudice, which means that they can bring it out again. They can ask for an extension again. Again, this is nothing major, nothing like important, really just technical little things that are very common in the beginning of a federal case. Right. Then you've got a motion for an extension of time to file answer. Okay, order. Defendant Maskin's motion is granted, and his response to plaintiff's complaint is due 30 days. Okay, again, he's just saying that his motion was granted, that Bruce's motion was granted, and that the plaintiff, his response to the plaintiff was due, 30 days. So he got an extension. Right. Motion. Okay, so motion for a more definite statement. It sounds like Helms's lawyer is a good lawyer, really good lawyer. And I'll tell you why. When we were in law school, it was like a rule of thumb. They always said, anytime, that a lawsuit is filed, always ask for a motion for more definite statement. Because what happens is, this is something you guys, this is really important. Okay. If you can get away with filing a lawsuit in a vague and ambiguous manner, everybody wants to do that, because that leaves you on a fishing expedition for discovery. Okay. Right. A lot of times you're going to see, I had clients all the time say, well, put this specific and put that specific. And I would say, no. We want to do it vague and ambiguous, because that's going to leave it wide open for us to go in and ask for discovery on a multitude of things, or allege certain things up to the date of the trial. Right. So any attorney that, in my opinion, how we were taught in law school, any attorney that has like good skill level is going to ask for more specified statements. Okay, well, what is the date? What is the time? Because they want to confine it down to the allegation. They don't just want it to be, excuse my language, a shit show where mud throwing is going on. So that's a very, very smart motion that Helms's attorney filed. Okay, so moving on, summons. Then that's just summons. Motion request for clerk's entry. Okay, so he's trying to default somebody, apparently. What he was trying, and basically he's trying to default them, probably because they hadn't answered in time. But so I'm looking at that. Okay, entry on default as to Lynette, and then he names a couple people. Then what happened is they came back and they did a motion. So obviously there was an order of default. They came back and they asked to set aside, basically overturn that default. And so they asked to overturn it, which I'm assuming that got granted, because they were, I saw Marla filed later. Okay, so they all filed their motions. That was a smart motion, because that's the only way you can get rid of the default at that point. Motion requesting appointment of counsel. They're obviously wanting an attorney. Motion, again, people are just asking for extensions of time. There's orders on extensions of time. The order was granted for them to set aside the default. So if you want to talk about winning, they won that. That was not Hales. Motion to set aside default and time request. Again, that was granted. That would be, of course, that's going to be granted. I mean, I can't imagine a court would not grant that. And it didn't seem like they were evading, okay, so then he turns around and he again amends his complaint again. Then he asks for new summons to be done. Then more extensions of time. Then I'm just looking here. Another disregard entire, and I don't really know. I'd have to read that. I don't know what docket number 39 is. Rich says, I think that actually helps in this case. I want a huge amount of discovery from Germany. Oh yeah, absolutely, Rich. Absolutely. And I get what you're saying.
Someone said in the chat that Jeremy's trying to build his case on discovery, which to me is hilarious, because I would think that he expects there to be a whole bunch of stuff like from me and Bruce, and there isn't.
Yeah. But
you just really conversations with him, I'm thinking, I don't know what he thinks he's gonna get. There's nothing. There's no. Because there's no conspiracy like this. It's hilarious. But how about it, Jerm? I'm going to make a fool out of you. Okay.
And just so you guys know, I'm going past this, because all that has happened in this case is he's amended his complaint twice. He has people have asked for extensions to respond.
However, the second time he's calling it the first.
Yeah, that I just was going to say that, because he needs to seek permission for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
gotta be. I don't want to give too much because then I get too technical. I want to keep it to procedural. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't want to walk that line.
yeah,
But anyways, all that's really taking place again is just people asking for extensions, him
yeah.
amending, summons being issued, and now we're on to the preliminary beginnings of people responding with motions to dismiss. This is very standard. This is very early on in the case. And that's it. That's all that has taken place in this case. And
Yeah.
I can show you just so you can understand. This is very normal. Let me show you something. Okay. I'm going to show you.
And by the way, this is for 5 or actually 6. I would be the 6th person on here, so I'm at the bottom of this list. That's just starting, where these other 5 have already been in it a little bit, but there's another 5 coming in behind me as long as they get served. So it's good. Then they're going to do their motions, their answers. So it's all going to be like, it's going to take a bit.
Okay, this is my husband and I's case right now. That
Mhm.
not us personally. We're representing. Like, I'm behind the scenes. You can see his name. He's the attorney of record, right? So this is look at this case. Okay, look at this case so you guys can understand that I'm not like everything is very. Look, we filed the complaint, right? We had to keep amending because we kept getting more and more evidence, which was insane. We got the summons and we had all these notices of appearance. Okay. We had extensions. We agreed to all the extensions of time because that's very, very standard. They're a business, so they had to do these things
I still see the same screen.
Oh, you do see the same screen. Okay, let me change it then. Hold on, because I want you guys to see see that this is very standard with what I'm showing you right now. So hold on. Okay, I think this is it. Is this? Yes, this should be it. Okay, you see where it says docket 30, Lisa? Do you see? Are you able to?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, like, when you go up here, right? Complaint. Again, summons, right? Summons, a motion to amend, affidavits, summons, notices of appearance. These are attorneys signing in, people asking, for extensions of time. You see, this is very standard, very, very standard.
Right.
Extensions of time. Let me keep going. And then as we get down farther, you can start seeing everybody is now starting to file their motions to dismiss, right? Then we had to respond. There's our responses to the motions to dismiss, and we're still in the preliminary stages of this, right? And so this was filed. Look, just about 2 months before yours was filed, and we're still going through motions to dismiss. And you guys, your case, it was filed in February. This one was filed in December. Okay. So you can see this is very standard. There's nothing out of the ordinary going on here. I could show you tons and tons more cases. It's cookie cutter, same thing in every case. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Does that help you? Does that help you kind of understand what's going on? Or
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did it help kind of seeing how another case basically mirrors it? Like, it's the same thing.
Now, if you were to look at the other case, it's like it's on a stay. It's like what's going on over there?
Oh, are you talking about their other case against Michelle and stuff?
Yeah, Michelle and John. Yeah.
I'll look at that for a second. You want me to look at that, or I didn't know if that was something you wanted me to do? I don't need to unless you want me to.
I mean, you don't have to. We pretty much. I mean,
I don't want to bore you guys with like
the last. Well, you know what? If you want to look at like the last couple of entries in there, just to like figure out where they're saying it's at and explain that, that's cool.
Sure. Okay. Let me. Okay. So here we go.
But I think everybody's pretty much got it down because it's on a stay, Yeah. And John filed a summary judgment motion during the stay, so it was stricken from the record. So that's on there because it was at a stay.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen now, and I'm in the docket. So I'll just go all the way down. So this one was filed. Hold on, let me just see. This one was filed in 2024. So he waited about a year to add you guys in, which is exactly what I've been saying when people were telling me I didn't know anything. I was like, yes, I do know things. I have looked at this stuff. Okay, so what happened? It appears, you guys are on a stay right here. See docket number 144. It says order notice of hearing. This case was stayed until April 14th, 2025 to allow defendants time to obtain new counsel. On May 29th, 2025, the court held a telephonic hearing to determine the status of the defendant's representation by counsel. During the hearing, defendant Preston stated that she was in the process of retaining counsel. She requested 14 days extension to finalize her representation. Plaintiff did not oppose the extension request. Accordingly, the case remains stayed. The court will hold a hearing with the parties in approximately 14 days, at which time the court will ascertain the status of the defendant's representation. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Now, what ends up happening is notice of Zoom hearing. So they have a hearing coming up on the 12th in 10 days from now on Zoom.
Let me ask you this.
You guys actually, believe it or not, you guys, anybody out there, courts are open to the public. You guys can actually come in. I get asked to court watch all the time. You guys can court watch in the case in a Zoom hearing if you want to. Just so you know. It's interesting, right? So let's see what the Zoom hearing is on.
Maybe we should all watch. That way we don't have to believe Jeremy's bullshit.
I think you guys should all show up in court watch. You can all you have to do is contact the judicial assistant for the judge. Right. Okay, so here's the judge right here. The judge is well, this is the clerk. Okay, so I don't know where the judge, but you guys can find out who the judge.
It's both.
Oh, it's the same judge. Okay, so you just ask for the JA's information and ask for here's the Zoom link. Or they haven't given the Zoom link out, but you would ask for the Zoom link because it should be open to the public, and then you guys can appear since it's Zoom. Courts are supposed to be open to the public. Okay, unless there's something confidential and sealed. But you guys should be able to show up on Zoom and literally listen to the hearing.
Not sure if we're allowed to air it though.
I don't know if you can air it. Now that's different. But you can show up. You can observe it. You can observe it. But here's what it's on. It's on. It doesn't say. It says the proceeding has been scheduled, but I don't see where it says what the.
They'll probably get information afterwards. Yeah, but here's my question. I have a question about this, right? So, Bruce was their attorney, and is no longer their attorney. But before he was removed from the case, he filed some motions. One was to vacate the magistrate. Yeah. And there was never there's a couple of things that they haven't ruled on because of the motion to vacate. And then he didn't appear at a hearing on April 3rd. So there's supposedly sanctions that are going to be given. We don't even know. Anyway, the judge is stating that this stay is based on the fact of the defendants not having counsel right now. However, this would have been stayed anyway because of the motion to vacate, correct? Because the motion to vacate was supposed to be handed over to a district judge.
Yeah, that's a different issue. This is the order right here, and if you read the order for the reason that it was stayed, it says specifically so they could obtain new counsel. Okay. She's asking for 14 days. Yeah, that's what it says in the order. So I don't want to put words in an order. That you got to go straight to the order because little things can be different, as far as legal arguments go.
Oh, I'm sorry. He stayed the case in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, he's continuing. Okay. He's continuing the stay. Okay. But he kind of used the same excuse in April. Because he knew that there was a discharge for Bruce, and it was a question of whether or not he was going to allow it. Because at first he was leaving them with no attorneys, according to the judge, but then he granted it. So he was dismissed. But yet this motion to vacate still sitting there. Yeah. And it's like if that was supposed to, and it actually, if you look up, it would say that it was referred over to a district judge. But still nothing. So why, if there's no response from a district judge regarding the motion to vacate, why is the magistrate still doing these orders and like moving forward with the case at all, even just a little bit?
I got it. Because I when you're asking me these questions, these are technical, and I'm very weird about saying anything unless I read everything thoroughly.
Mhm.
So I don't like. I want to comment on what I do, like that whole magistrate issue. I need to go back. I need to read like the orders for magistrate, like what they're allowed, like what they've been appointed. Because sometimes a magistrate can only they can only oversee one issue in some cases. Sometimes they can oversee the whole case. I don't want to comment on that because it could be incorrect, and I would have to read that more thoroughly.
All right.
Is that I'm sorry, Lisa. I just don't like. I'm very weird about it.
I'd rather you not answer unless you knew the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I did
Like
want to say this. I did want to say this because I've been so attacked. From God forbid, I stand up for Bruce or I stand up for anybody, or I go against the Hales. I want you guys to all see this. Here's the order where Hales' own attorney, they want to get on Bruce all the time. Hales' own attorney got sanctioned for $4,000 right here.
Yeah.
So ordered plaintiff's counsel pay $4,000 as a monetary sanction. I mean, why are they on Bruce's case all the time about these sanctions? He got sanctioned $4,000.
Well, supposedly from this hearing too, supposedly there's going to be sanctions. Number one, Bruce didn't go to the hearing.
Yeah.
You really have to like start with you got to go back.
I know. I haven't gotten like this
to catch up.
Yeah, the only case that I have really been acclimated in is the one that was filed in February. This case, I only read the complaint and I read the sanction, right? But I didn't read like the whole docket because it's more voluminous. So I'm very hesitant. Like I can read the whole docket and I'll have a very good understanding after I read the whole docket. But I just didn't have time to go through the entire docket, and I was more concerned at that point about looking at what was going on with you guys. So.
Right. No, I appreciate that. Cool. Yeah. I'd rather you, look at it and then, someone.
Yeah, you got to be real careful, like especially when you're.
It's 123 and 130. Thank you. Those are the docket numbers. 123.
Bruce knows like the back of. I've been on the phone with Bruce before, and he's like, "Oh, it's docket number," blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, he knows them by the back of his hand. He's really good like that. But no. N117, which is it's those three that you should really look at. The 123 I know is a motion to vacate, but it's just weird how after the hearing when the hearing occurred, I believe the motion to vacate was already in the docket. You know what I mean? So
well, I can
do what we did. He's not like, to me, it's like. Never mind. I just don't know how he's still doing. If the 123 hasn't been answered yet, then why is he still ruling on certain things in the case? Why is it the whole thing?
If you want me to go, I can go through the docket by next week because I would feel much more comfortable talking about that case.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I have no problem. Yeah, and I have no problem addressing it. I just don't want to, like, I'm not one to just like.
No, I'd rather you look at it first. Yeah,
let me look at it, and then next week when we come back, we can talk more about that first case. But I at least want you guys to see, you know what I'm saying, like what procedurally is going on, because when you go into Hales's, and that brings me to another thing, Lisa, that we were talking about, because every time I've gone on and I can't bear myself to watch it past maybe 10 minutes. I'll be honest with you. It's just not like
so many people.
But then apparently he's now talking about me. He calls me lips.
You made a song too.
She's Louise.
You made a song too. I made the song this Sunday.
He's like talking about me now.
You know how long it took for me to get there, and you come in and you do it in a week.
Oh my God. But anyways, so
Ryan, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. I'm just not interrupting. I'm listening.
But what he says all the time, and this is to me, I'm like, what is he talking about? He's like, oh, they're going to be going to jail. Someone's going to jail. They're going to be arrested. They're going to be, and I'm going, who has committed a crime? I mean, and here's the thing. If somebody has committed a crime and you have solid evidence, the standard to get someone arrested is very low. It's only probable cause. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if he's in receipt of all this evidence of probable cause, and he's turned this over to the state, then I would have thought by now somebody's going to be arrested by now, whatever he's talking about. But he's not even he's not one addressing what crime anybody has partaken in. Two, he hasn't addressed who supposedly has done a crime, and you've not seen anybody get arrested. So, here's the thing. Let me tell you guys something. This is a little thing they used to do in family court. To make somebody look bad, they would make, say, a call to DCF, or they would make a call to the FBI, right? Making a call to FBI, making a call to DCF, making a call to the police does not mean jack crap. Anybody can make a call. And then, but the problem is people don't think about that. They just hear, oh, there's a call that's been put into the FBI. Anybody can make a call to the FBI if you want to. Doesn't mean the FBI is going to pick it up and investigate it.
Right.
I mean, that's what, same thing with the police. Anybody can call the police. It doesn't mean the prosecutor is going to pursue it. Anybody can, call DCF and they'll show up. It doesn't mean that the kid is going to be removed. It's just, I'm just saying, like, anybody can make these phone calls.
Well, the FBI is heavily involved in this case.
I find that hard. I don't know what you guys have done.
I have no idea either.
I don't see how. First of all, the FBI, like, what division of the FBI? Where's the fraud? Where's the criminal? Is it a white collar crime? Is it a federal crime? Is it a state crime? Which entity of the FBI? Because the FBI has, I think, like 3 different agencies in Florida. They have an agency in the federal, in the federal government. What is the crime? Because they're very specific about what the FBI is going to investigate. For instance, like healthcare fraud, right? There's white collar crimes. I mean, what is it? Like, that's what I'm still not understanding, Lisa.
Well, they're heavily involved. That's all I know. Like, they're seriously, they're heavily involved.
What does that mean?
Yeah. I don't know. He has all the evidence. So I have no idea. He has all the evidence, yet he's begging for evidence and for people to send in their information about everybody and everything to this eco trip freaking email.
Thing is so ridiculous.
Conspiracy. Can you say conspiracy? Conspiracy. Anyway.
At this point, this is so comedic to me. You guys don't understand. Like, I'm very into comedy. This is the only way you get through life, I think. Sometimes you gotta just laugh, right? This whole thing is insane.
It is. It absolutely is.
It really
There's
is.
no doubt. I say that all the time. You hear me go, this is crazy. This is insane. Those are the 2 words I keep repeating over and over and over again with this.
I feel so bad for you guys because if I hadn't been a lawyer and I was like in the dark on this, I'd be scared out of my mind going, oh my God, what's going on? The reason I can be calm is because I know the laws and I know that this is ridiculous, but I feel so bad for you guys.
I believe that he actually took that into consideration and figured he was going to scare the crap out of people.
Yeah.
He's scared. And here's the funny thing, because you weren't here, Leslie. There was a guy that came on around the time where Jeremy's son came on, right? And he calls himself Slug, right? And he came right out of the woodwork calling Jeremy all kinds of names, right? And the P word, and said it straight up, said it on my channel. And myself and Tori both were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That you can't be calling people something like that. That's serious. One, because we've actually checked into that because we heard rumors too, right? And he's on no list. There's no guilt of nothing like that. Like, you can't say this, right?
Oh, yeah.
He is the one and the only person in this entire saga or community of peeps or any like that has ever defamed Jeremy. Like, literally defamed him. And it's this guy Slug, okay? And he got so scared that he flipped a switch and jumped and was begging Jeremy for forgiveness, begging Megan, begging Tug. I mean, but like begging, it was ridiculous to watch this guy. Please let me talk. Please let me come on and so I can apologize. Please, please, please. I mean, it was ridiculous. But he is actually the only one I've ever heard defame Jeremy.
And then he got so afraid that he was going to get crucified that he just jumped ship and
completely. And I mean, I have emails from him, basically saying so. and saying that he has like an illness that this would stress him
This
out.
isn't slug, right? This is slug.
No, this is slug. This is so
Okay.
yeah, totally
Did you, Lisa, just to chime in about the comment I told you that Jay
the butthole face?
can I tell you? Can I say it?
All right, so Sylvie had a question. Does a 3 years magistrate have more power in the court than a 1 year magistrate?
No, they're it's the same thing. And the thing is, in federal court, the magistrates, they have terms. Okay, so here's the difference. I'm glad you brought this up. When you're a judge in federal court, you've got lifetime tenure, which means that you're not going to be as influenced by politics because you're in it for life. Nobody can take you out of your seat. Okay, as judge, once you're appointed into the federal courts as a judge. Now, if you're a magistrate, you have to, I don't remember the exact term. It might be like 3 to 5 years. I'm not really sure. You have to constantly get reappointment and you have to get reapproval and you got to get voted in basically. So no, once you're a magistrate, there's no difference between the power of whether you're there for 3 years or 1 year. No, a magistrate's a magistrate. It's a very like defined, role, and the powers are defined. The only difference, like I said, is that one of them is going to be up for re-election soon. So there could be politics involved is what I'm saying. Meaning like if because I actually sued, I had a lawsuit against a defendant and it was the person I was suing had to approve whether or not the magistrate was going to become a magistrate. Can you imagine that for the next term? And so I tried to recuse the magistrate because I'm like, this isn't fair. I'm suing the defendant who's going to choose whether or not this person gets to come back. That is completely biased. They wouldn't. I dropped the lawsuit because I was like, I'm not going down that road because it was so political. But yeah.
So, all right. So, like with judges, like let's just say a judge does do something wrong, and you really can't get them. You can have them recused from the case, right? But you can't they can't be reprimanded.
No, I don't think that because they still can be reprimanded because you're not going to, what I'm saying is you don't have to, as long as you don't get into ethical trouble, you have a lifetime tenure. But if you are in ethical trouble, absolutely, they're going to boot you out of there. So
a case or like remove you as a judge?
Oh no, well it depends on the crime. Not say the crime, but the ethical allegation.
But a magistrate has more to answer for than a judge.
Well, yeah, because they have to keep seeking reappointment.
Yeah. Okay, 1 sec. I have mail. Hold on, let me see. No, I don't. Hold on. No, I don't. Let me there it is. Uh-oh. All right. It looks like refresh on that case there, Leslie. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Is there something new that's been?
I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me just make sure. Yes, there is. Motion to dismiss for failure. Okay, hold on. We got a motion to dismiss here.
Which case? The one with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Robbie, you still there? You so quiet.
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right.
Listening, Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
I'm like, what the hell did I just walk into?
Look, Bruce, look, I'm seeing this. Yes, as of
you see it right now.
Yes. Here, I'll share it. I'll share it. Hold on.
You want to share it? I was just trying to pull it up. I downloaded it.
Oh, okay. I whatever you want to do, girl. I have it up if you want to see.
Go ahead. If it's already there, go ahead.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's the same thing.
I'm speedy when it comes to dockets.
Okay. Full screen layout. There we go.
So you can see docket number 55. It says motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim by Bruce. Okay. And his affidavit.
Go for it, Leslie. What did I?
This is where Bruce needs to come on. Bruce needs to come on and explain.
Bruce, you want to come on? I don't know. Let's see if he answers. Thank you, gentlemen. Guys, thank you all for the birthday wishes for Gabe. I'll mention more about it later, but we went to dinner and he had a nice steak and he saw a lot of the comments and was going to answer them, but guess what he did? He passed out after he ate. Maybe he'll wake up a little bit, but thank you so much. I see it. Thank you so much.
Dude, it's not letting me pull it up. You might need to.
I got it. Okay. Hold on.
Oi.
I'm downloading.
Yes, Richard Bruce filed. I don't know if he wants to come on, but I didn't see. It's 40 pages. Hold on. Hold, please.
Holy smokes! It's 40 pages.
Yeah, see, that's why I like it when we're going over. Like the other night was 32 pages, and I was like, I don't think everybody wants to hear us say that.
Here, you want to see something? You want to see something? You ready for this? You guys are gonna laugh. Can I show you something?
Yeah, where is it, Bruce? Hold on.
I have it now, Lisa. I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. I just wanted to show you something. Okay. You see it now?
1 sec. I'm not even on that screen. Oh, there it is. That's what happened. I didn't download it.
Watch this. I go to AI. This is my lovely AI thing. Summarize in layman's terms.
The dude sells. You were shipped Thursday.
Dude, Sal, you're funny. What are we looking at?
Okay, look what I just did. Can you see my AI assistant on the screen?
Okay.
Did you see what I put? I said summarize in simple terms the main arguments in this. Now, Bruce would obviously be able to better equip himself with the technical, he would be the most appropriate person to talk about his own motion. But if you want to get a gist of it, just in layman's terms, like simple terms, you can read that if you want to.
Tyron, awesome.
Okay,
do you want to read it or
okay. It's really small for me. I can't really see.
I'll make it bigger. Hold on.
Oh.
Is that better? Or you want me to read it? You want me? I'll read it.
Yeah, you go ahead. You can read it.
I just asked it to basically summarize the main arguments, in simplistic terms, not so, so much technical for a lawyer. So defendant Bruce Matsken filed a motion to dismiss count 5, torturous interference, and count 7, civil conspiracy of the plaintiff's amended complaint, arguing that the claims failed to meet the legal standards. Here are his main arguments, in simple terms. Count 5 is torturous interference. One of his arguments was a lack of specific business relationship. He's arguing that the plaintiff failed to identify specific customer or business relationships that were harmed by Matsken's alleged actions, which is required under Florida law. 2, there's no evidence of any sort of breach. He argued that the plaintiff did not provide facts showing that Bruce's conduct caused any customer or business partner to terminate their relationship with Hales. 3, protected editorial decisions. Any alleged interference with social media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, would fall under the platform's editorial discretion, which is protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. 4, qualified privilege, that Bruce's statements to
okay, Hannah, thank you.
Yeah, to whatnot were, or to Hales, I guess, were not made in the context, or whatnot, were not made in the context of a legal discovery dispute and are protected under Florida law. 5, or were made under the context of a legal discovery dispute, which means he's privileged to be able to say what he was able to say at that time. 5, the First Amendment protection is Bruce's statements or opinions or rhetorical hyperbole, which are protected under the First Amendment. 6, public figure standard. Plaintiffs are public figures. Hales is a public figure due to their social media presence and must prove that Bruce acted, which is what we've talked about last week, with actual malice, right? That he actually intentionally chose to say something false, which they failed to do. Okay, so that's everything those are the main arguments broken down simplistically under count 5 that he wants to dismiss. Under count 7, which is the civil conspiracy, is 1, the attorney immunity. Attorneys cannot be held liable for conspiracy claims when acting within the scope of their representation of client. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't, think about that. And this is established under the 11th Circuit and Florida precedent, which is the 11th Circuit is the federal courts, where Florida is a part of the 11th Circuit. But
Right.
yeah, why? I mean, he's acting as an attorney. He's not a conspire. That's
Right.
insane. That's a great argument.
Mhm.
2 is no evidence of agreement. Plaintiffs failed to show that Bruce agreed with others to commit any sort of unlawful acts, such as violating the Layham Act or Florida Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. So there's no evidence that he ever agreed to do anything like this. 3, that the First Amendment protections that Bruce's comment about creating an anti what the Hales media ecosystem was a lawful exercise of free speech and not evidence of any sort of conspiracy. He's using a figure of speech. If he wants to categorize it as
It was
such,
a quip. It was a quip.
yeah. Conclusion. Bruce argues that the plaintiff's claims lack sufficient factual and legal basis and should be dismissed. Okay. So those are the main arguments that they said that was in his, I'm sure he's got secondary arguments and things like that, but those are the main arguments, which makes perfect sense. I mean, think
Yeah.
about this. If any attorney was open to having allegations of conspiracy
Mhm.
simply for being an attorney of record, that would kill the entire legal system. No attorney would want to represent anybody.
Right.
You understand?
Yep.
So I don't know if hold on.
Man,
Sorry.
AI just like makes everything so fast.
Well, and you know what I do now with AI is I just like you saw me just put that in there and asked it to summarize the main arguments. And then it'll tell you like what section. So if I don't trust it and I want to go click, it'll take me right to the section where it got that information. But what I do now is I take if I have a motion to dismiss and I have a response, see what's going to be really fun is when Shotsky starts to or Shots, whatever his last name is, starts to do objections to these motions to dismiss. You can go on to AI and you can say who's likely to win.
Right.
And it will read both the motion and the objection, and it will give exactly why the a party is more likely to win than the other party. Is that not crazy?
It
That
is.
is crazy.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for to see if there's any other.
Do you want me to pull it back up, Lisa, or it's up to you?
I actually have it. I do have it up.
Right,
I'm just looking at 5. Yeah. So is that all the only counts then? No, hold on.
no, there's probably more. Here, I'll let me ask AI more because I can go through it. I'm just trying to save time for you guys. So, all right, count 5. He said.
It went over count 5 and 7.
Yeah, we went over count 5. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just going through because it is a lengthy document.
Yeah, it's 42 pages.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then he has like technical. This is pretty standard. Like no, this is everything. I mean, he just gets into more like details, but everything that I just read so far, aside from just the details, seems to be the gist of everything he's saying. He just gets in. He has like exhibits, and he's got things that are attached to this more more case law, more references. Let me see. Yeah, he's good. This is the qualified privilege that we talked about. Hyperbole that that he's entitled to his opinion. It's crazy how AI can sum it up so fast, right? But I mean, obviously, you wouldn't. This is just to talk about. Like, if you were to actually argue this, you want to read the whole thing and really get into it. Public figures. Hold on. That one we've already talked about. That was cited in the AI. Let me see. Claim 7. Yeah, the conspiracy was the other one. The 11th. Okay, that talked about that. I think it had everything as far as like the arguments. Yeah, that's the it just gets into details. That's all it does. Like if the 40 pages gets into more details and gets into citing of the more technicalities behind. Yeah, that's it. It's everything.
Yeah. So am I the only one that got hit with every count? I don't know anymore.
No, Lisa, No, you always want to go in and allege as many arguments as possible. The thing is though, in federal, you do have a word count just so you know, you're only allowed, I'm trying to think of the word count, for a motion to dismiss. I think it's up to like 8,000, 6 or 8,000. I'd have to double check on that. But I know that you always have to be cognizant of the fact that you can't just turn in like 100-page motion to dismiss. You have to stay within the word count. Do you understand? So if you can get a ton of different arguments within the word count, you're good. You know, but in this case, obviously, Bruce's attorney, found those to be the main arguments, and those should be strong enough to dismiss it, which I agree with.
But let me ask. So is this the ones that involve? Is 5 and 7 the only ones that involve Bruce? Because it sounds to me like, for the foregoing reasons, Bruce respectfully requests that the court grant his motion to dismiss counts 5 and 7. So that would be the only ones.
Yeah, I got to see what he was here. I'll tell you right now what he's being sued under.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, is it only 5 and 7, or is he asking to dismiss everything against him?
Okay, here, let me do this. Hold on for a second.
That's what happens, I guess, when you don't read the whole thing. Like, I
get it. I totally get it.
I'm so used to reading the whole thing.
Okay, here. You know what? Do you want me to share my screen again? Because I'll put in the allegation. I'll ask AI really fast so it can just spit it out really fast for us. Hold on for a second. Okay, tell me when you're ready. Okay, so state all claims against Bruce. Give it a second.
How's everybody doing in the chat? Hello. You can get to say hello. Oh, thank you, Starbucks Junkie. Leslie has homework for next week.
Okay, so here's what AI says, or in the claims against him.
Okay.
Is that he has a defamation count number 2. Allegations: Madskin published false statements about Jeremy Hales orally and in writing to third parties, calculating to defame or diminish Hales' reputation. He's seeking over $1 million in damages. 2 is count 10, which is the torturous interference with an advantageous business relationship. He's alleging that Bruce intentionally interfered with Hales's valid business relationship, including those with customers and companies like Whatnot Inc., causing financial harm. Damages sought over $800,000. 3, civil conspiracy. So maybe the counts are slightly different because they categorize this count as 10, but in Bruce's one it said a different, but it still says the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying? Torturous interference, civil conspiracy.
That's all I was wondering. Is just this? Is this just to dismiss the 2 counts?
Well, yeah, I mean, it appears that way, but
it sounds like.
Yeah, it appears that way. But I would ask Bruce, because he can always amend it too and add more.
Right.
But anyways, civil conspiracy. Again, that's alleging that Bruce participated in conspiracy with the defendants to commit defamation per se, torturous interference with business relationship. He's seeking over $2 million in damages. Aiding and abetting, count 13. He aided and abetted the defendants in committing torturous acts, including defamation per se, and torturous interference. He's seeking over $1 million in damages.
I can't even believe he's using that torturous shit again, because he knows damn well it's not proven on the other case.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then he claims these claims collectively allege that Madskin played a significant role in alleging defaming Hales, interfering with his business relations, and participating in coordinated effort to harm Hales' reputation and livelihood. Now, I did do some research in this before, so this is everybody's allegations in there.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to see that, but here's this is when I was just reviewing it, right? So these are the defendants. Okay. Then I said, I asked who each of the defendants were, so it told me. I don't need to. This is like who each person is, right? So we don't need to go into all that. This is before I knew you guys, and when I was just researching everything. Okay, here's the allegations against you, Lisa. You want me to say them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He's alleging that you committed defamation, that you were accused of publishing false statements about Jeremy to third parties, both orally and in writing. These statements were allegedly calculated to defame or diminish Hales's reputation in his community and professional capacity. The document claims that these statements were made with knowledge of their falsity. This is a big kicker. You have to know when you're saying something that it's false. It can't be a mistake. Right. You have to know that it's false, and you are completely recklessly disregarding and falsifying information. Okay, that's part of the element. 2 is he's claiming that you interfered with his business relationship, that you were accused of intentionally interfering with his valid and enforceable contracts and business relationships, including those with companies of Whatnot and YouTube. The document alleges
right there.
that her actions fails to lose revenue stream. Okay, listen, let me stop for 1 second and say this. You guys remember what I said about specificity? These are generalizations. Okay. Where is the specificity that what is the actual, I'm going to ask it in a second, what the actual specification that he's claiming, because when you read, generalizations always appear worse than the actual facts. Okay. So I'm going to ask for the actual facts in a second. Civil conspiracies claiming that you conspired. We understand aid and abetting. Okay. Those are the things, but let's ask, okay. Here's what I did ask it. I said, okay, so what? Oh, it won't tell me. It won't tell me. See where it says user guidelines. Okay, let me say, what facts alleged against tweets? Because I think I had to put it through a different AI program when I got it. Here we go. See, it still won't let me. No, it's not going to let me do it. But anyways, I can bring it through another AI program. I think that's what I essentially ended up doing. I think hold on, let me see. I think I might even have it on a sheet of paper so I don't have to go back through it. So let me stop there and I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Here's a
I was investigating, guys. I was investigating.
I've done all this stuff against him, apparently. And I've been basically working on my live stream. That's all you guys have heard. You don't see me in any of the Facebook chats, none of that. Where you see me on my show. And where am I on my show? I'm in my office, my little studio that I made out of my garage in my home. You guys, it's like I've done all these bad things. Yes. It's kind of like you make it sound like I'm this corporate conglomerate, or this like mob or whatever, and did all these bad things. I'm like, this is hilarious.
But like, Lisa, you know what? We did, but I'll pull it back up again. We did do your allegations in the press release, so that was in there. But I do have. Hold on for a second. Let me get out of there. Let me see. See, you guys were going to laugh because I have tons and tons of research that I have done on this case. That people want to say, I don't know. I don't know anything about this case. I'm like, I don't know anybody that's sitting down typing all this crap up that I'm typing.
2 inches, Richard.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. So Lisa, basically it's everything that was in your press release. I can pull it up if you want me to.
And then pull up Robbie's too, because he's sitting here and he's all kinds of quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, hold on.
I'm just like, what the hell's
what's going on here, right? Okay.
You still haven't been served, right, Robbie?
Nope.
Lisa, while I'm pulling up Robbie's, here's yours if you want to read it, and let me pull up Robbie's as you're doing that.
Okay. Exit. Oh, that's a full screen layout. Shoot. Okay. I can't read it. It's too small.
Oh, I'll make it bigger.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, that's
hold on. Because I still got to be able to see.
There you go. All right. So allegations against Lisa, that's not my last name, are not defamation under federal and Florida law. Background. Jeremy Hales has filed legal claims against YouTube creator Lisa, accusing her of defamation and conspiracy.
Of course, Carolyn.
The specific statements is alleged to have made are listed below, along with a clear explanation of why, under both federal and state law, these statements do not qualify as defamation. Yeah, scroll. I can't scroll it.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. You see, I'm like, Okay. I got Robbie's up too now. So I was just trying to find Robbie's. So that's what.
In a YouTube video dated 10/6/24, Weeks stated, "That's the bottom line right there. Yeah, ladies and gents, all this that's gone on, every last bit of defamatory signs about Jeremy Hales were created for content harassing, destroying someone's life." I do believe I did say that. She further claimed Jeremy Hales tortured Preston for content for a year and a half. He almost had her child taken away from her, or tried to. He did all this crap when the damn story would have been out of creek. He could have just stuck with that, but he took advantage of someone whom he thought was weak, and he did it all himself. That's a fact, Jack. I did say that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did do those things. I'll still say it to this day. Jeremy Hales wrote the signs that stated he raped a minor child and committed forgery in doing so. Yes, I did state that. I'm not sure I said it exactly in those words, but there was an expert that said he did, and I went off the expert's report. Hales claims Weeks has published more than 100 YouTube videos about him since August 24, and these are part of a conspiracy. No, they're not part of a conspiracy. It's part of telling the truth and exposing your lies for what they are, that you put out videos every damn day and you're lying and hurting people in each and every one of them. Hales also alleges that Weeks shared information about his deposition in the lawsuit, which was not subject to a gag order. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it says which is not subject to a gag order.
Or
no. Okay. Let me reiterate. That section is actually favorable to you. He didn't say this. What it's saying is he's claiming that you were sharing information about a deposition from a lawsuit, right? But there's nothing wrong with that because there was no gag order or there was nothing sealed.
Is he kidding me? He has shared every piece of information from a lawsuit.
So that right there was that was reiterating the fact that that's ridiculous. Because
no, I get how it's meant now.
Yeah.
But that's funny that it's okay. So I shared information about his deposition. Does anybody remember him sharing information or the actual deposition and videos of Michelle for 8 days straight? Does he not realize that this entire case is public record? Anybody can talk about it. Anybody can critique, comment, react to any one of his videos. He is a public figure. Okay? So all these things is like, okay, and next.
Exactly.
Okay, what I did still isn't wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, so
there it is right there.
Yeah.
Because Jeremy Hales is a well-known YouTube personality, he is considered a public figure under the law. To win a defamation case, he must prove that Weeks made a false statement of fact with actual malice, meaning she knew it was false and acted with reckless disregard for the truth. He will not be able to prove that because I have never done that. If I knew Jeremy actually did something good and right, I would say so. Okay, I have never purposely said anything that was a lie or wrong.
Oh, and Lisa, will you reiterate that what a press release is and why the press release was made? Because you're considered a reporter, and other people on YouTube that are reporting on this are considered reporters. So press releases are usually given to news stations, although this isn't considered a news station per se, like a CBS or an NBC. It's still a news forum on YouTube.
It's a press release. It's a news forum. It's for those who want information about this case or this side of the case.
Because do you remember that live that Megan Fox did where she's going, well, why is there a press release? What? I don't understand.
Well, people are asking questions, and that's what press releases are for.
Exactly.
Okay, and Megan, being a journalist, should freaking know that. Okay, perhaps she's not on press lists, media lists, or whatever. I am. I've been on media lists for freaking 30 years, so I don't understand why she wouldn't. Come on, man. Press release is the oldest thing in the book when it comes to PR and media. Please. Maybe Tug don't know what those are. He should, because technically the info he got from Depp's lawyer would have been considered some type of immediate news release that he got the information before the court did. That would be considered some type of press release.
Yeah.
And that's only saying it actually in Tug's favor. There's another word for it. The way he.
And this really is just a simple way to break down what exactly you're being alleged to have done. So you know what I mean? And this is actually probably the most thorough press release about what you could be alleged to be done than what most people do out there, because it's backed up by case law. It's giving examples. It's saying what was alleged against you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, if Weeks gave her opinion based on Hale's own videos or public records, even if harsh or critical, this is not enough to prove actual malice. I don't think anybody here thought I was being vicious at all. Opinions and interpretations are protected speech. Only provably false statements of fact can be defamatory. Statements that are opinions, interpretations, or conclusions drawn from public information are protected by the First Amendment. Example, saying Jeremy Hales tortured Preston for content is Weeks' interpretation of Hales' public conduct and videos. Absolutely. The law says there's no such thing as a false idea. Reporting on public records and proceedings is protected. Commentary and reporting on court filings, depositions, and public events are protected speech, especially when the information is already public and not confidential. I don't think anything was confidential that I've ever said. Weeks discussing Hale's deposition or public signs is legal reporting based on public records, not defamation. There's also case law there. You can go check it out. Criticism and collaboration are not conspiracy or defamation. Simply talking about a public lawsuit, sharing videos, or collaborating with other creators is not illegal. There must be a specific unlawful agreement to commit a crime or fraud, not just criticism or reporting. More case law. So the summary is... Scroll, please.
Right here. This is the summary.
Recent statements are opinions and commentary based on public information and Hale's own conduct online. Federal and Florida law protect her right to report, criticize, and share her views about a public figure. None of the cited statements meet the legal definition of defamation or conspiracy.
Yep.
I can guarantee you that probably right there will end up being in my answer somewhere or an emotion.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up Robbie's now.
All right, while you do that, when you do, I will go to the ladies' room. Okay. There is a question for Leslie. Did you read all the Dr. Seuss books? Did they help you to understand germs? This person really wants you to answer that question.
Did I read all the Dr. Seuss books? This. You guys not understand the sarcasm behind. I mean, first of all, the Dr. Seuss books are wonderful character building books for children, but to understand the humor, it's more sarcastic than anything. What I'm saying is, and you know, when people are saying, "Do you understand? Do you understand?" I was being sarcastic, and I said, "Yeah, all I have to do is read the Dr. Seuss books, and I'm going to understand."
They don't get sarcasm.
It's okay. It's okay. It's like I said. It's
they're hodunks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My husband said it. You got to be. It's almost like they say this about British humor. British humor is very intelligent humor. The humor used to watch Britain, and I only would watch the BBC version of it because that was the one. They didn't try to spoon feed you what the sarcasm was. You would just pick up on it. And I met some people from the UK one time, and they're like, "Well, yeah, you have to be intelligent to understand the humor." And my husband said, he was laughing. He's like, "Leslie," he's like, "your humor is very intellectual." I said, "I know it's very intellectual." And he goes, "You understand that a lot of these people aren't going to get the humor." And I said, "No, I understand that." You know, I'm not saying this audience. I'm saying some of these people that just have, I won't even say it, but not everybody's going to get the humor, but it's totally sarcastic.
Oh, thank you, Becky. Thank you so much. You know, see, people don't realize too, we got Pacer bills too.
What?
I saw this like debit from my account, and I'm like, what is that? I could not believe how much Pacer charged me for looking at these court docs. I'm like, holy crap, wow, really? I'm like, all right, well, okay. I was pretty surprised. That's why I was irritated the other day when I'm like, why can't I file through Pacer Online? Which is why my answer was mailed, and thank God I didn't wait till in the evening where I'm normally awake, and I did it during the day because I ended up not being able to file on Friday.
Yeah.
Which made me know, because I could have waited till Sunday to file. It had to be in today, right? I could have waited till this morning, But being that I knew I wasn't going to be able, because Gabe's working and I can't drive all the way to Gainesville. So I'm like, I need to get this in the mail now, So, yeah, Pacer really irritates me.
Yeah.
That I can't file because I'm not an attorney. I can't file for that court on Pacer. No, it's not every court, but for that court, I can't.
I was gonna say, if you want to pull up Robbie's press release, I can
Okay.
go over it because I'm sharing it now. Tell me if you guys can see it. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it.
All
Let
right.
me. Is it full screen? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And while you do that, I'm gonna run to the ladies' room.
Okay. So
You can't.
so
Wait, hold on.
Robbie,
They're saying they can't see it.
oh, they can't see it.
No, you cannot email it. Can they hear you? Can you guys hear Leslie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see it better now, or
Yes.
you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it just says this is in regards to the claims against Robbie. It says recently a lawsuit was filed against Robbie by Hales, claiming defamation, conspiracy, and other serious accusations based on things Robbie said during a YouTube live stream. We want to set the record straight and explain why these claims simply do not stand up under the law or common sense. One, sharing opinions, as we learned in Lisa's press release, is not defamation. Robbie is accused of defamation for statements such as, all Hales does is bully people. Well, as you guys can see, that's clearly an opinion. And sharing his thoughts on past
Yeah.
business dealings. Yeah. What the lawsuit ignores is that the law protects people's rights to share their opinions, especially online and in public discussions. For example, if someone says, I don't like pineapple on pizza, that is just their opinion. That's not considered an attack. The same goes for what Robbie said about Hales. Two, no evidence of any sort of secret plot. The lawsuit claims that Robbie joined a malicious conspiracy with others just because they appeared together on a YouTube. But talking with others online is not the same as plotting. That's different. You can talk to somebody online, and then there's a difference between that and actually plotting and scheming. By that logic, anyone on a group video call would be accused of conspiring for simply being in the same chat. There is no real evidence of any sort of secret plan, just normal public conversations. Three, no pre-lawsuit notice was given. Florida law requires anyone suing for defamation to first send a written notice explaining exactly what they claim was false and give the other person a chance to respond or to correct it. Robbie has never received such notice from Mr. Hales. That's like getting a ticket without ever being told that you were ever parked in the wrong spot. Four, the law protects free speech on public issues. Florida's anti-SLAPP law was created to stop lawsuits that try to silence free speech about public matters. Opinions expressed in the YouTube live streams, especially about people who are already considered public figures, are exactly the kind of speech that this law protects. This lawsuit on its face is trying to punish Robbie simply for sharing his views. In summary, Robbie stands by his right to speak openly and honestly. The claims against him are not supported by the facts or the law, and we are confident that the court will recognize this lawsuit for what it is. It is an attempt to stifle free speech, not a genuine case of defamation and conspiracy.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's again, you're allowed to have opinions,
Right.
and you're even allowed to insult. You're even allowed to say harassing comments. I mean, that might get you an injunction, but you're allowed to do certain things. Defamation is where there's a blatant it would be like me knowing that my eyes were brown and say that my eyes, are brown. We know that this is a fact, but I'm telling Or that somebody's telling everybody my eyes are green. Okay, that's a very simple. It's not correct. It's not true. And that would be. And then the person knew my eyes are brown, but telling everybody my eyes are green.
What
right?
about saying someone has a rap sheet that it doesn't?
That is absolutely defamation, and that's defamation per se if they're alleging criminal.
Yeah.
Because if they're alleging something false and they don't, to say someone's a criminal and you don't have any ground. Yeah.
Well, it's like he said I was a drug addict and I was dealing drugs.
Yeah, that's defamation. I mean,
he said I was a man and he knows I'm not.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, that's what if I took offense to that?
Well, it's defamation.
Doesn't matter.
You don't have to take offense.
Defamation. He did it maliciously. Like the things he's saying is malicious because he's yelling at the screen half the time when he says it.
Well,
Leslie, Guapo's suing you for not coming around sooner.
Oh my God, tell Guapo. Can Guapo? He hears me.
He's
right?
Here. Yeah, he's here.
Guapo, first and foremost, you need to come on to my show for jury room tomorrow at 10. Seriously, get the link from Lisa. But secondly, Guapo, I am in the process of making the funniest friggin' video of you and Jeremy. And let me tell you, oh my God, I'm so excited for this one.
She just recently saw I saw the buck, whatever he does, he bucked you. That's assault, by the way. That is assault. You could have actually absolutely had him arrested for that. But I started working on this video where Jeremy, because you guys know I'm comedic, right? I'm humorous, I'm satirical. So Jeremy's in diapers and he's an obese baby, but he's got an adult face. That's Jeremy's face. Okay. And so he's walking around barefoot like a 1-year-old in an obese body with a pair of diapers on. And Guapo is standing there like a stud with his chains. And you guys are at the storage war auction, right? And you're walking away from him like a stud, and you're like, just leave me be. And he's like, and then he's like, and then he comes up and he's a baby, and he floats through the air and he hits his belly against your back. and then you turn around and you're like, what? And then he runs off crying like a baby. Oh my God, it's the funny. When it's done, I'm sending it to you, Guapo, because you're gonna laugh your butt off. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
No, it's not done yet, Beard. And he's like, show it.
I started it. I'll post it on my page because I don't want to get Lisa in any trouble. But I'll give it. Lisa, give Guapo my information to, you know what I mean, if you guys my email or whatever. But because I definitely got to get Guapo that, because we were dying laughing. Like I was like, oh my God, because remember, Lisa, I told you I started to work on it.
Yeah.
And now what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to make his character. He's going to be riding a white unicorn in a fat, obese baby's body with diapers on, but with his real face and head. And his head's going to be enlarged with a tiny, tiny crown. And
someone said he was a pony boy.
He's a pony boy. And so then what's going to happen is I'm going to reenact all of his aggression videos where he's a baby and he's going to be like me, and he's all mad and angry, and then I'm going to come on like a mom, like a maternal figure, and be like, and I'm going to have Godolpho, and I'm going to be like, Godolpho, whatever, I'm like, we need to tell him.
I have to say, I've seen someone in this minion group over there play with stuffed animals, but I must say you're more tactful, you're more tasteful, and you're definitely more fun about it, not using it in a negative way against a child. So I have to say I was pretty thrilled about that. I was like, oh my God.
How funny is this face though? Look at this. I've never seen stuffed animals like do that. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be real. It's gonna be really, really funny when I'm done, because I'm starting this and I'm gonna call like the name.
Sorry, wait a minute. That was funny.
What did you say? What did you do?
No. Someone said, Leslie, is it true that Bobby Hales from King of the Hill grew up to be Jeremy Hales? You don't understand. My husband watches that show all the time. And like to think Bobby grew up to be Jeremy was also, oh my
Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, I his new name in all my videos, because if you notice, I have a maternal like aura about me when I'm wearing the wigs and everything, when I'm holding the thing.
You go into character.
Yeah, so his name is now going to be Little Hales, Little Germ Hales. Little Germ, I'm like Little Germ Hales now. Come on now. I need to give you a bedtime story now. Okay, you no need to get mad at people now. Okay.
Guapo said he's getting Leslie tattooed on his neck.
No, Guapo, I am like I've always liked to make myself laugh. You got to, like I said before, you got to get through this life in this world, right? So these videos that I'm making are just the funniest things. Like I could sit here just dying laughing, and I send them to Hales. I do send them to Hales. He hasn't responded yet, but I think they're sweet.
No more see you in courts, just that one.
What?
No more see you in courts, just that one.
Yeah, that was the only time. When I sent him a cease and desist, he said, "See you in court." But the rest, I mean, of course, I told him and I could do. I said, "I have a piano right here, and I could play one note, da 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 da." And I said, "His one strum on the guitar." And I told him, "We can have a band, Hales. What do you think?" I'm like, as good as I is on the piano,
oh my God,
on the guitar. And then I said, "We could even have a kid show, Hales. What do you think? What do you think?" Right? So he never responded. And then I sent him the.
I only wish he was your friend, because George could never do that crap with him. And he likes to play like that, so he's gonna hate the fact that like he couldn't be your friend. I mean,
I know he's gonna be, and then I go in one of my videos. I'm like, what did I say? I go. We love Mr. Hales. Why do we love Mr. Hales? I'm like, because he's a pony boy just like us. Hey, pony boy. And then I go, I love ponies. And I go, but no, someone else loves them even more, Mr. Hales. No, you guys got to watch it. It's so fun. Like, I have too much fun with this, Lisa. I have way too much fun.
Well, here's the plan. The one with the baby that you're talking about, dancing around, jumping around all over Guapo, whatever. You know what you really need to play?
What?
The background of that song, I want to be like Guapo.
Oh, the song that you were telling me about.
Not a topo, not a couple, just a Guapo. It's got to be that, because it's Jeremy's voice.
You know what we should do?
It's doing good, Monica.
No, we should put like a toy box, like a ding, 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 like a toy box,
right,
with him singing. Do you know what I'm saying? And like he's running around like a baby.
Oh my God!
No, I'm just telling you.
The Guapo song.
Yeah, him singing the Guapo song.
Right now, the only ones I have, the one I have is Crayola singing it. Spamming. Who's spamming? Oh, okay. So, Lisa, do me a favor. Is Leslie the one who created the Hold On Hillbilly video? Wait. Now it just went past. Hold on.
Nothing yet.
All this time, or was it somebody else who's doing it with the AI? I'm very curious. I'd like to know. Thank you.
I don't know. It's a funny series, though.
It's a funny.
Whoever's doing that, it's hilarious.
Whoever's doing it is damn brilliant, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to take that sort of sarcasm and bring out the hypocrisy, that's some brilliance. So I kudos to that person, man.
Make sure he has a stupid shirt on.
I love the Hodon. I've watched the Hodon Hillbillies at least. God, my husband and I watched it probably 10 times each.
Right?
Yeah, it's really funny. It's really funny.
Well, off of that, somebody made a song, because I believe it was Pebs in the chat mentioned something about doing the Hodon Shuffle. So somebody made a song, and it's called the Hodon Shuffle, and it was pretty popular. So yeah, I don't know. The Hodons are awesome.
I love the Hodunks, man. I think the Hodunks should be made into a movie. I just think it's hilarious. Like, like I said, I have my own little scheme going on over here with the Pony Boys and Dr. Seuss and Adelpho. And Mr. Hales, or little Germ Hales. That's little Germ. And then of course did you see the one where I have a funny video on my channel where it's on a short and Jeremy is riding on a unicorn and his hair is flowing and then he's dancing and then all of a sudden he pops out, somebody's giving birth to him and he pops out like a baby. It has the two legs up like this, and then it has all of a sudden the person pushes and a baby pops out, and it's Jeremy with his full adult face on a baby's body.
What am I missing? What's this pony boy stuff?
Okay, I made it up. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Okay.
there's really an underground culture with adults that are into My Little Ponies. They're called, what are they called? Bronies. Look it up. I swear to God, look it up on YouTube. Called bronies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I was just laughing because I, because the reason is that Jeremy. The reason I find humor in this, so you guys can understand. Jeremy goes around trying to be so aggressive, right? With so many people, unwarranted, unsolicited aggression, that it's almost abnormal, in my opinion. I don't see many men act like that unless they're like really teetering on like some internal crap going on inside their head as to why they have to act like that. I'm not going to say anything. But my point being is that when you take a man like that and you put him in a very, very, very feminine situation,
If you ask me, he just needs to get laid.
it's hysterical.
Well,
you know
might
what I'm saying?
issues. He keeps bragging about a 2-inch pipe. So
Is he Irish?
I don't know what he is.
I don't know what he is.
Isn't there like a? Never mind.
But usually people that talk so much about their manhood don't have much of one.
That's like you see these bodybuilders, right? That go to the gym and they're like, ooh, 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 and they're like Little Britain did the best comedic act on bodybuilders because they can get away with it in the BBC. Like in the United States, they don't release a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's because it's got the ratings, but it has these bodybuilders and they're big and they're beefed up and they go into the men's locker room and all of a sudden they take their towel off. And they're like this big.
There's like nothing there.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah.
John, would that really be a furry though?
Robbie is a furry. He dresses up as a chicken. It's a camel toe. Lisa, don't forget Jerem talking about his. Oh yeah, and his driveway, his big driveway. Yeah. Well, then why is then if this is the case and it's such a good thing or whatever, then explain to me why he's always going and doing all these acts, having to find girls because he can't keep them, and he's the one that he's with is all pissed off all the time. I mean, I'm sorry, it can't be that good. But I can do I just she's always pissed off. I mean, look at her.
Well, that says something right there, then, doesn't it? Can't be doing his job too good.
Oh my God!
I'm just kidding.
Something not right.
Really weird sense of humor. I'm sorry. Okay.
He's always talking. I mean, ask Tori. He's always talking about other men's junk.
The video that I saw, I guess, with the whole Guapo video that we just watched the other day.
Yeah.
He's like going like this, and I'm like,
yeah, he saw him do that. Yeah, like what the,
has anybody ever lived to tell? I'm just kidding.
No, but here's the point. Like he's sitting there talking to, and sorry, Guapo, if you're listening, you're still here. But he's sitting there talking to that girl that he was doing that with. That's Guapo's ex.
Yeah, that's.
Okay? And she was with him for 10 years, so she obviously didn't have a problem.
No.
So he was just trying to publicly try to humiliate Guapo by making it look like.
I find that hard to believe because I've pretty much known Hispanic men to be like, not having struggling down in that area. But on the other end of the spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Like genetically, I don't know. Like it depends. Maybe his nationality. I don't really know. But anybody who's talking that much about it, you better be willing to show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see.
No, but he thinks he's all that, and usually guys who think they're all that, no. I mean, you have to see the ads that he had in these Craigslist ads, like he really thinks he is like
ads.
Super. Yeah, he had Craigslist ads out.
For what?
He used to go and look for people while he was married. He put these Craigslist ads out, and he was looking for singles to mingle with. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. People are fessing up.
Is he a swinger? Like what?
I
Oh,
don't
he
know.
wishes he was.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
think he'd object. Who
That
knows?
seems like a problem.
Well, okay, so he's a known cheater from his wife, which they divorced in 2014, right? Or
Yeah.
15 is actually when it became final, right? But so they broke up in 2014, but their son, who's 19 now, states that he thinks that there's another child. He has a half sibling out there somewhere that would be his age. So, I mean, and he's got a younger sibling too. So, like, that would mean that Jeremy was cheating on his wife for a very, very long time before they actually split up.
I just can't believe he was on Craigslist, like soliciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
but
my
you should
God,
see
girl.
the ads.
He was on apps, dating apps last summer.
What was his ad?
Oh, George was in
What was
Florida.
the ad
He's in
like,
Ohio,
Robbie?
trying to get girls to go to his
Let's
house.
who wants to put the woo in Worcester with me?
Wait.
Yeah.
This was his ad?
Yeah.
With his picture and everything.
It's a joke. Was he
No,
joking?
No.
I'm not even kidding. Okay, first off, I heard about it, right? And then all of a sudden, a week after I heard about it, here it comes in my email. I'm like, no freaking way. I was just told about this, and here is the freaking ad. I'm like,
Who
so
wants to
that
put my
person wasn't
woo?
lying.
Who wants to
Huh?
put my woo in Rooster? Wait, what did he say?
No, okay, so he lived in Worcester, Ohio. That's the town, right? So one of his ads was, who wants to help put the woo in Worcester for me? Oh, it's like the cheesiest shit. Hold on, I gotta find it. Hold on.
It's like his
I'll tell you
songs that he
what's
makes up. These
Well, yeah,
songs
like the songs, like
they're the
so it
cheesiest
just
songs
seems
I've ever heard in my life. What?
to
Oh,
me.
it gets
talking about
cheesier.
this-
The Christmas
So
one is even
Thank you,
cheesier.
Marla.
Is he serious? And does he really think these are good songs, or is he just joking?
I think he thinks they're good songs.
No.
He can't play for shit. I mean, the
Well, I
only
know
thing
he
is
can't play. That's why I
songs.
invited him into a band with me who can play one note on the piano. I thought we'd make a perfect band.
Yeah, I could sing better than he plays. Put it that way.
Yes.
Let me see. See, I'm thinking where would I?
This is
I
insane.
have no idea how many folders I have with this whole freaking case. So, like, I have to find out which folder I put it in.
This is too, you guys. This just keeps getting better and better. I swear,
There it is. Found it.
he is definitely no, but his life, it is definitely entertaining. This is just the most insanity that I've
John,
ever.
I know that, bro.
All right, let me read this one. Hold
And you're
on.
welcome, dude. No, I thought it was funny
What?
what John said earlier.
Oh, okay. So this one says, I've been good this year, but now all I want for Christmas is to be bad. Men for women in Worcester. Okay. And this was in the Mansfield Craigslist section. And it says, I've been good all year, and no, all I'm asking Santa for is to bring me someone to be bad with. Someone that enjoys going down on me as much as I would enjoy
Wait. This
down
was
on them.
his ad. Wait. Stop for a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
This was his
Yes.
ad.
Yes.
Lisa, post the ad up there. Show her.
Oh my god, I gotta see this.
Really?
I got my glasses on now. You guys, this is just this. I'm sorry. This is just you guys. Come on, this is definitely.
Dude, this is so funny. It's not even. It's.
And he's serious about this.
Oh yeah, you can
Oh,
tell.
look, he's
Read
in a
it.
hoodie. That's him. He's younger, obviously, but he's in a hoodie.
This is to be bad.
Okay. Yeah. All I
I've been
want
good
to
all
see.
year, and no, I'm asking Santa. Oh, wait, and no, all I'm asking Santa for is to bring me someone to be bad with. Someone that enjoys
going down on me
as much as I would enjoy going down on them. Someone that is extremely passionate in the bedroom and just can't get enough of old eight. Why does he keep talking? Oh my god!
He's
I
lying.
can't even
I thought it was
say
two.
it.
I thought he's only two.
Someone that is clean, safe, sane, but insatiable.
Yeah. While he's married, by the way. Yeah. That's one.
Michael, you got it. When I get off, I got to show my husband. Michael, you got to be watching this live.
Wait, this one's great. This is another one of him. Okay.
Lisa, this is, I'm so utterly entertained right now. It's not even funny.
This is another picture of him showing his torso. Needing a little sex-citement in your life? Let's make it successful. I was like, oh, you gotta be joking.
See, like,
and that's so him, you know, like successful.
See, the question that I have, this is what my question, because I say cheesy things just to get a kick out of people, right?
Right.
And I know they're cheesy. Like, I'll just say it because I think it's funny, but I know it's cheesy. Does he know this is cheesy, or does he really legitimately like think this is like?
Oh, he thinks it's brilliant.
So he thinks
he thinks everything he does is
brilliant.
Some type of yeah. Hold on.
Oh my God, you guys, my head is spinning right now.
They're fake ads. By the way.
I have so much content I can make right now with my wigs. It's not even funny.
So, and then this is another one. Who can put the woo in Wooster from?
Who can put the woo in Wooster?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
What does his face look like? I wonder what type of expression he has.
It's blocked. It's blocked. But it's him. It's for sure him. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. But I was just like, because I was told about this, you know, that some people from his past have stepped up, right?
Yeah.
And I know all about the whole, when he was doing these ads with Craigslist, he met a girl on there who was also married and had children. He didn't date her for long, but she ended up having a protection order against him. And when she started dating somebody else, he showed up at the guy's house. And the next thing you know, he started sending over prostitutes from Craigslist to him to set him up. Right. And he actually got caught doing that. So, I mean, that's how we know the Craigslist ain't no freaking lie. I mean, he was on Craigslist.
I can't believe I'm just hearing this, Lisa.
Oh, but trust me, I only heard about it like 2 months ago. I'm like, wait. I knew about other allegations and like the exes and stuff, but this one popped up. I'm like, wait a minute, Craigslist says, excuse me?
Because you always know that that's like you don't go on that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that's why when you told me he had to be up to no good, I knew that.
That's just it. And people don't understand. Okay, well, so what? Maybe he's kinky. You know what? Yeah, maybe he is kinky. I think the guy, personally, at the whole like, you know, just the cheating and all that, not being able to stick with one girl, you know, could people do that? I get it, but whatever. And just all these references to other men's thing, and then sexual. Even when he finds things, he's this Christian guy, right? He promotes all this stuff, and God forbid anybody did anything wrong around him. But yet, when he finds these like a vibrator in a storage unit, he starts using it like in weird ways. A microphone, okay, or better yet, he finds boobies. What's we call it? The booby. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
The boob enhancers, right?
Yeah.
He finds the pads and he starts licking the nipples. This is on his video, like you know that used to be like for family. Yeah.
Can I tell you my opinion of him? This is.
We also have a beautiful feet page. He was on a wiki feet page.
Wait,
he had his own page.
Doing his feet off?
Yeah.
Or was he wanting?
So the other night he tried to say that we've made fake pages on him of on a foot page, a fake foot fetish page, and then also fake dating apps or something. I'm like, I don't think so. We literally went on. Someone said something about a foot page. They would swear to God that he had one. And they're like, no way. So we went and pulled it up, and sure enough, Tori found it. It was right there. I'm like, oh my God. So I honestly believe, because of all this crap, that he's got some kind of weird sex addiction. Now, a lot of people do, but I think he actually has an addiction to it. Some people have it. I think he's got it.
Well, see, here's what he reminds me of. Like when
I don't even know that.
No, when you guys are telling me about this, like what I'm thinking in my head is I'm remembering back in the day of being in high school. Okay.
Right.
We had like the football team, right? And you have like a bunch of guys that are acting like jackasses who are like saying rude things. And then even you filter into college a little bit and you get a lot of frat guys. But these are guys that are like 18, 17, 20. Like
Yeah.
you'd expect this of like young guys, right?
Yeah.
Like everything that I see or that I hear about him. And like I said, he's exactly my age. We're born the same years, 1977. Everything about him seems like he never grew up. It's like a kid.
Oh, never grew up, needs attention constantly.
That's why I love what I'm doing with my wigs right now, because I'm having way too much fun because he's such a kid. It's like he's not grown up at all.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
But he's still,
yeah.
Like he hides everything about himself. He knew to cover certain things, but
Ernie,
obviously,
good night. God bless and prayers, bro.
Good night, Ernie. He didn't find the fake page, that annoying. I guess probably because he's still using it. And then the other, Craigslist ads or whatever, which I guess whoever was involved with him with it kept them. Because you have to understand the way he got busted with his wife was he took on other names. He had full-on relationships with people with fake names. And he got into a relationship with one person that figured out he was lying or something. She ended up knowing somebody or being part of military. I don't know, but she ended up doing some type of facial recognition on him. And they found out who he really was. And she went to his wife, knocked on the door. And that's how she,
had so sad. That had to be so sad for his wife,
Yeah.
I bet she was nice. Was she nice? Was she a pretty girl? Like she seems. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about her.
Well, it sounds like she has a very smart, intelligent child.
Yeah. So oh my God, his son. His son is more of a man than he could ever even dream of.
Exactly. So so it's just, and then like think. So okay, you take this part of that story, right? That's all you need to know, right? You look at the divorce. She could have been, if she wasn't a nice woman, or you know what I mean, or wanted to be a little vindictive or maybe a little bitter because this guy did this to her. And if who knows how long he's been doing it, since his son thought that there's a possibility of having a half sibling out there, right? So how long has he been doing it? Look at the divorce and look at what she did. She didn't try to get a massive alimony. She didn't try to do, there's nothing crazy in that divorce.
No, trust me, I was a divorce attorney, and she was not. She was not spiteful at all.
No. And not only that, he is sitting there telling all his people that when he got this house, that he lived in, it's one that Christian and Patience live in now, that he had nothing. He couldn't have any electric. He couldn't have any, nothing. He was like practically homeless. And I'm thinking, well, it just came out that you stole 10 grand from each of your kids just to get that house. How on earth were you living with no electricity?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Your wife was on food stamps and you stole $30,000 from them.
Yeah.
And yet you criticize people to this day for being on food stamps. Your wife was on food stamps with you and your child. You know what I mean? It's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You're lucky. For you to be in the position that you're in monetarily or whatever, you should find yourself lucky that actually I'm not even going to say that because that's not luck, because what he had to do to be that selfish that he is, it was terrible actually, because he hurt the entire family. So it's not even lucky,
Yeah,
it's terrible. He made his family suffer so he could enjoy his life.
It's just very selfish. It's
terribly all kinds of crap.
Yeah, it's very selfish. Very selfish.
Yeah. And I mean, you can see like even in the video when he was talking about George's family. Family don't matter, blood don't matter. He's talking about suing George's sister. He throws that out there, like what? You know, to the point where, and by the way, like he accused his sister of being like all these things. And I went and I looked it up just to see if there was a smidget of truth. There's nothing. And even George said to him, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So I went and I looked. I looked up in the county that they're all in, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
This guy literally lies about everything he says. There's no way that George doesn't know he's lying. There's no way. No way.
No.
So, but she got pissed off enough to show everybody that. But yeah, so, I mean, he's got a history of all this. I believe that he's just a selfish narcissist with the sex addict behaviors. I've heard some of the things that he requested of his partners. And let me tell you something, he's into a little more kink than you think. And, you know, hey, whatever power to you, but anyway.
Yeah.
You know, still, he's, yeah. To me, he's just not a good person. And, you know, this, people might think none of this matters in court. You're right, none of it matters in court, but it builds the character.
Yeah.
We're looking at patterns here. We're looking at the character of the person that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know? And it's when you seeing all, I mean, they all add up. They all add up. You know, I'm not going to any of his business dealings with other people. We've not even gone into that. We haven't even looked into that, really. This is personal relationships that he's had where there are protection orders. Now, if we're going back and we're looking at the protection orders he has now compared to the protection orders he's had his whole life, yes, that is a pattern that does involve this case. That is a characteristic. Well, why did these people have the protection orders? Oh, here comes the rest of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, how long has this guy been lying and manipulating and doing all this shit while he was being a preacher, while he's praying, you know, talking about God, you know?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like I don't get. There's obviously an internal struggle going on, because if you look back at his like when I pulled his background check, you know, it seemed that he was really that's why I sent him the email that I did. I was like, you need to find your way back to God, you know, like because it looked like he had some conscience and he wanted to pursue seminary school. He wanted to open you know, or do something with the Baptist church or whatever he was doing, but it sounded like he was.
I feel like that was and I don't know, but I know his family's very religious, so I feel like that was kind of a family thing.
Yeah, probably.
He was really young when he met his ex-wife, so they were both involved in it. So
yeah, so he probably ran away from it, and then of course, you know, then once he got, you know, some fame and power and money behind him, he really didn't need the approval of his family. He probably felt anymore. And that's when he kind of let his real demons kick in, you know?
Well, what's weird is that he worked at this place, right, as a preacher, and his family, they kind of like lived there. Like, I don't know if it was actually on the property or right next to it, but they were all they all participated. Like, he went and did all these speaking engagements. He wasn't alone a lot of times when he did those things. His wife actually was with him. I've seen the advertisements for both of their names as speakers. Okay. Yeah. So his wife was involved in it too. But what his sons would say is that, like, because it was happened that, you know, Skyview Ranch, there was a camp there for kids. But his own kids weren't allowed to participate in the activities that the rest of the kids were playing in.
Yeah.
He kept them, like when they went to church or whatever, they didn't go to the one that he was preaching at. I'm like, now that's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. What was he hiding? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? So I don't know. I just think he's been shady his whole life. He was taught how to manipulate people for donations, for, you know, the camp, the church, whatever it may be. And he, you know, I mean, we heard sermons of his, and when you listen to him, to hear his voice, he literally put on an accent to like of a preacher.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't talk the way he talks now. Wow. He's like, Moses, and like he just like starts talking this like totally different tone.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I mean, to hear the voice change like that, you know what he's doing. He's acting. He's just, he may believe in the. I don't even know if he believes in the book, because if he's a false prophet, it's all a game. It's all a game. But
Yeah.
I just, who knows the Bible well?
He's going to know it very well if he's a false prophet.
If he's a false prophet, he knows the Bible better than the best Christian there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm just. But anyway, there's a lot that's gone on where you look at his character and he's just.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. And listen, I'm not like I know people are not perfect. Nobody is, right?
An auctioneer chant? I don't know if that's an auctioneer chant.
No, but there's not even a humble bone in his body. You got to have some humbleness, because if you are so prideful, you're never going to change. You're never going to change. It's always going to be someone else's problem, someone else's fault. Yeah. And you're never like, that's one of the things I remember. Like, you got to have accountability,
Mm-hmm.
He's a narcissist.
And he's the one crying accountability, and that's the reason for him to be filming his neighbors every time he drives by their house very slowly on the wrong side of the road, trying to peek into their property. He's using that word accountability. Well, guess what? You're going to be held accountable for everything you've done.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
He's obviously an entertaining person, right? There's something entertaining about him. I mean, he's
very charismatic.
Yeah, he's entertaining, but the thing is that it's like he's not really entertaining in a very intelligent way. It's almost like he's going almost like an animal out there, and just being primitive in his style of entertainment, which is actually hurtful and harmful to other people. If he actually sat there and probably brainstormed at other things he could do using his entertainment, likability and all that stuff, he could probably come up with something way better than he's even got now. But he just chooses to do these like primitive acts that are really just, they hurt people.
Here's the thing, right? So he, especially the past 2 weeks, George is like, telling the world, reminding them all the good that they've done, right? So you've done all this good. You restored the love. You copied off Jeebus and did that. You've done the Christmas thing. You copied off Jeebus and did that too. You gave away 2 speedboats that would add up to like 150 grand, he said, to that camp that you worked at when you were younger, or lived at, whatever. They've done these things. They got backpacks for school kids in Egypt. They've done all these great things, right? My question is, if you saw a family that was your neighbor right across the street from you, and you're complaining their yard's a mess, you're complaining they have nothing, you're complaining this, you're complaining that. This is your neighbor, right? And you help all these people that you've never met before, that you never know. You're so kind-hearted, and you're so caring, and you're so giving. Why, and you're complaining about their property, why wouldn't you help them with their property? Why wouldn't you help them fix that barn? If you're so caring about that child, why did you not help them with the barn?
Yeah.
Why did you not help them with whatever? Instead, you went and filmed them. You tried to have their child taken away. You went to the biological parents to try and get the drug addict biological parents, which, by the way, I have something to show you because it was mentioned. Where is it? It was mentioned last night. Okay. So
Todd, no, he had eye surgery there, and what he did was made a deal with them. He'll promote them if they do an eye surgery for somebody.
Yeah, see, that's what he does. He barters. Barters. He doesn't buy and give away. He barters. Okay. And the other thing he bartered with was those pallets that she mentioned. The pallets, the unboxing of the pallets. He bartered with that guy too. And all he did was talk about it in the video and then put a link on his Facebook page for all that free stuff that they got. And then went back and got more stuff and never paid for anything. So, I mean, that's like crazy. But anyway, so he could have done all this great stuff. Instead, he goes to the grocery store where they got their food, that would, the food that was being thrown out. they got food from him. And that was what, they would feed the turtles and stuff. He went there and got that stuff. He talked about him so much that people started going onto their turtle rescue page and wrote bad reviews and stuff. 28 CPS visits and calls. Yeah. This is what he did to somebody across the street from his house. Like, he lives across the street. Why wouldn't you try and help or whatever? You help all
He's
these
not a
people
good
you
person.
don't know. What are you going to say? Oh, because they're bad people? How are they bad people? Let me tell you something right now. John Cook, I have seen him take food to people's homes. I have heard from people that he's brought food over. They have 2 boxes that I actually replaced outside their fence line for people, one for her mail and one for people to drop off, pick up, food there. Okay, John helps everybody he can. I mean, more than Michelle. I'm saying that because she's taking care of Harley all the time. So, but John, I mean, these are good people. Why wouldn't Jeremy have offered to do some good right there, right in front of his face?
Yeah.
It's sick. But what I do want to show you though, is last night he was talking about the ants, and let me get this picture up. And he was saying that an update on the ants, okay, and how in 9 days their brother or whatever is coming home, and they're gonna have this updated or whatever. And he's basically was trying to let people know the funds that have already been raised for them are out. They're out of the funds. So he's kind of letting everybody know they're going to need more funds because they went through it already. Well, this is, in fact, and I probably shouldn't show this guy's face, but whatever. This is the biological father. He's in prison. That's why he'll be back in 9 days. That's what they said. Let me show you something. Okay. Admission date was April 29, 2022. So he's been there for that long. His max release date is October 15th. His eligibility date for parole is June 9th. Eligibility date. That doesn't say he's getting out. As of right now, he could be getting out in 2027. Okay? But there's the charges. Okay, so this is the guy they're trying to get back to the kid? To get back to? The parents are drug addicts.
That's horrible.
Okay. And here, they're known drug addicts. It's not even a possibility that it's not true. Okay. Distribute, dispense, weapons, possession, handguns, hinder, apprehensive, protective. And this is from 2021. So when was he arrested? Hold on. Admission date 2022. So I know he ran. There was a hit and run with him and his wife. They hit somebody and ran. So I'm not sure if this is kind of part of it. But he was arrested for these crimes. He ended up going to jail in 2022. But yeah, so he's not supposed to get out until then. But he has an eligibility date, which is June 9th. So that doesn't mean he's getting paroled. Okay. That's what the eligibility date is. Now, maybe that's what they meant. I don't know. Are they trying to say that he's getting out in 9 days? Or are they trying to, use the 9 days because of this date that they know he might be up for parole and, get more money? I don't know. All I can tell you is this guy didn't just give away or sign away his rights to his child, unborn child, not once, twice. So the aunts, when Jeremy was trying to fund this thing and raise money for them, the aunts had said that he did not knowingly, nor want to give up his rights to his child. That's a lie. They weren't around. They wouldn't know. But he did, in fact, do it. He signed the paperwork once, and then he had to re-sign it and sign it again. And I'm not talking the same paperwork. I'm talking they had to do it again. Okay? So he signed it away twice. Okay? He has absolutely no standing to this child. The child is adopted. If he wants to know her or whatever when she's 18, if you know that's up to them what they're gonna do. And it's nobody's business. But this child is legally adopted. This child, Michelle, is is Harley Grace's mother. End of story. That's it. It says it in the court papers. Michelle is Harley's mother. That's it. It's the end. So don't believe no grift coming from these people, especially this guy. Okay. What I can also tell you is his sister, who filed this emergency order through Jeremy, you know, the $56,000. I find that so funny that number is exactly what that is, isn't it? Anyway, the $56,000 that they raised, that all of it went to an attorney who only filed 2 motions and charged them 56 grand. I find that very hard to believe. But anyway, she filed 2 motions for this sister, the attorney, it was a female attorney, Jenny Clinsuega, for his sister, who on the paperwork put a false address. A false address. Doesn't even, there's not even a house on the property on that address. And used all Jeremy's pictures and stuff to file as evidence, like exhibits in what she filed. And yet Jeremy sat there saying that they stayed far away from it. Oh, no. You brought it to light. You threw it all over YouTube. You did a fundraiser for it. You spoke about it numerous times. You talked about the money. You talked about where it went. Okay. And you talked about it last night too. You have not stayed far away from this. As a matter of fact, you're the one that promoted the shit out of it. Okay. Leave him alone. This guy has no access. He has no standing. The aunts have no standing. Michelle is her mother. End of story. It's legal. We had the attorney even on here. That's it. It's over. Forget the adoption thing. It has nothing to do with any of you. That's it. Leave it alone. Sorry. I'm so tired of this freaking conversation about the adoption.
Yeah.
That's it. It's crazy. But that's who that is. I looked it up. That's who that guy is.
Wow.
He'll be back in 9 days. Oh, he'll be back. Yeah. He'll be back. Really? Is that how you said it to everybody? Oh, he'll be back in 9 days. Oh, like he's just, coming back from vacation or something? Yeah. What kind of vacation is he on? Yeah. He's been in prison for the same shit he was doing when this child was born. He has 10 children combined with his wife, and none of the children are with them. None of them. So, and this is who Jeremy's trying to say is better for the child than the people that with.
Okay. You checked on top of the cages?
30 visits to CPS. I thought it was 28. It's now 30 visits from CPS. I've said that there's nothing wrong here. Let me tell you something. I have been there. I have seen where they live numerous times. I have seen the relationship between Michelle and her child, John and and Harley Grace. Okay, I will tell you that kid loves the hell out of both of them. And if you were to take that child away, you would be destroying everything that child knows and loves. She is a beautiful child. She is happy. She's gracious. She shares, like, all those presents that we brought her. All she wanted to do was share with everybody. That's all she wanted to do. She's incredibly smart. These people know nothing. All these people are doing is listening to that dumbass who is threatened by anybody who has a child because he wasn't able to take care of his own children and his children were kept from him. Okay. And George, wanted a child too. They even spoke about adopting Harley. Are they out of their freaking minds? And all they've been doing for 2 years, and every time they go live or talk, that's nothing to do with storage. It has everything to do with lawyer net, cook, the child. That's it. He's using the child to hurt them and make themselves look better. And shame on you, dude. And shame on that woman for actually, meaning George, for being part of it. There we go. All right, I'm done. I'm done with this conversation.
No, I hear you, girl.
Get me going on a roll. But yeah, I had to show that. And when I see that guy's face, I'm thinking, what a piece of shit. Because you know what? I will tell you this. This child is beautiful. She's absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful.
Jeremy lied, said she was nonverbal.
Yeah, he said she was nonverbal, and meanwhile, I'm sitting here playing her singing the ABCs. Yeah, said she was nonverbal. This child is very verbal. I believe everybody heard her screaming, "Super Dave!" Threatening Travis across the street. He says that this child threatened the guy across the street. It's a 48-year-old man, 46, 48-year-old man. Because she screamed Super Dave because she was so excited she got stickers in the mail. This is what they do, Leslie. It's insane.
I don't even like. It's like I have to be careful because I get so angry over stuff like this because I've seen really bad things happen to kids that have been removed from families, and people don't have. It's not their right to sit there unless they know firsthand, which they don't. Obviously, they don't. Firsthand. You know what I mean? To put this family, and do you guys know how traumatic it is to do investigations on kids with the department? All the stuff that they subject kids to. It's a damaging process.
Yes, I don't think everybody realized. I know we discussed it. We discussed it one time, but Harley has gone through some pretty
it's damaging to children.
Yeah, she's been examined for too much.
Yeah.
And in ways that no child should have to be examined, especially when it's made up bullshit from people online. Because, Jeremy has a sphere of influence and, he's got an army of people that would support him and even to the point where one of these YouTubers literally called CPS while they were on their live show with Michelle's attorney on the live show too. Although he didn't know that's what was going on when he entered. He goes, like, you calling him right now? Like her attorney was literally on the live while he was in the middle of being on hold with CPS. And they're asking him questions like, I don't know. I just saw it in a video. I don't know. Like, it's all hearsay. Like, put it this way. It got to the point where I literally called the department for that town. And I said, listen, I'm calling. How did I even phrase it? I literally said, listen, I know you can't tell me anything about a specific case. Leslie. And I was explaining to her because she doesn't know. All right, I'll see if she jumps right back. Anyway, so I explained to them. I said, listen, I know you can't tell me any information. I said, but I'm very concerned. You probably I'm pretty sure you probably know who I'm talking about when I tell you this. I said, but I'm sure you've received thousands of calls. There is a YouTuber. She goes, are you talking about Jeremy Hales? And I went, yes. She goes, we know all about it. I said, okay, so you realize that him and, there's a bunch of people calling in that's watching his channel. She goes, yes. That's all I need to know. You don't even need to say anything else to me. All I needed to know and want to know was that they knew what was going on, that they knew that there was a YouTube channel and their followers that are probably calling them and stuff. That's all I wanted to know. As long as I knew that, I figured, okay, they're not foolish, to what's going on here.
Right.
So, yeah. So, hold on a second. I think she. Her internet just went out. Okay.
That happens.
Yeah. She thinks there's an outage. Okay. Oh, well. Anyway. Now that I'm all riled up. I just, look, I'm very passionate about this because when you're talking about a child and you've affected the child like this, you think because she's a 5-year-old that she's not getting affected because you're just talking about her. Bullshit. I'm sorry, you're wrong. This has affected this child in ways that you probably couldn't even comprehend. And it will continue to for the rest of her life. Hopefully it could be lessened based on whatever the outcome is going to be.
That's what people don't understand is when this poor little girl's in like junior high and high school, when kids are reading the internet and find her on there, she's going to have to relive all this.
Yeah. And what if she has memories of going to the doctor or somebody having to check her? in
Right.
certain places to make sure she wasn't touched. What if she has memories like that and wonders why, better yet, wonders why one of her parents allowed that to happen because she doesn't understand why it happened,
Right.
you know? That's fucked up. She's not been touched, but because someone said so, someone had to look. To a little child. I understand there's reasons for those kind of exams. I get that. But when you're making false accusations, you're making up shit like that, and you're subjecting a child to something there's no necessary need for. Because you got it in your head, you got to hate somebody so hard, you got to make people think all this crazy shit for 9-year-old baby bullshit like you were in high school. I'm sorry, you are twisted, dude. And that's what you did. You did that. Nobody else did, Jeremy. You did it. You're going to say that that's defamation? Bullshit, because there's thousands of people that will validate what I just said. Nobody knew who they were until you promoted them. Nobody knew about until you promoted them. Nobody knew about any stupid sign that you probably wrote because the expert said you did until you promoted it. You did all of this. Why? So you can make money on your YouTube channel.
The police didn't even know about the signs.
The police a month ago did not know about the signs. Explain to me why you call the cop for every other thing or every contempt charge that you try to get on this family, okay, or John and Michelle. And they know about all that, but they to this day did not know about those signs.
Dude, Jeremy used to call the cops on Mike. Jeremy used to call the cops on Mike's mom.
Why do they not know about the signs?
It's too weird. It doesn't add up.
That he's taking people to court over it. Why do you not know about the signs?
Yeah, it does not add up.
Why is the 3 people that saw or found the signs, Zim, Therese and Brett, and Deanna? Really? Really? Well, guess what? It wasn't too dark at the same time of the same exact day, Mother's Day, this year. Wasn't that dark at all.
It never is.
Yeah, you wouldn't see people under streetlights putting them out. And by the way, how did Jerm know that it was only out for 40 minutes? He slipped up. He slipped up twice. He said they were only out for 40 minutes. Well, how does he know how long they were out for?
Yeah.
How would he know how long they were out for? He would have to know what time they were put out. How would he know that?
And why didn't the cameras at the schoolhouse catch them?
Yeah. Well, hold on. They said they were found in front of the schoolhouse, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a video of Jeremy saying that none of them were put out around his properties because he knows that Michelle and John know that he has cameras.
But he said they were found.
He said it. I got video. This is what I'm saying. Narcissists are bad freaking liars, and they don't know how to. They can't remember their lies. You think this guy remembers everything he said in a video? No, and that's why I had to go and watch every freaking video. We got him dead to rights. He's lying his ass off with everything. Sorry.
9 Chins, sir. How are you?
9 Chins, hey. Hello. So now he's claiming somebody saw them under the street light putting them out. Come on, man. 2 years later, come on. All of a sudden someone's popping up saying so? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll see. Narcissistic personality disorder is a very real mental illness. That may be, but it doesn't mean that because somebody has it and it is a mental illness that it's okay that other people have to get hurt by him on a channel and, you know, to millions of people and their life has to change because of him. How about the one that will testify to seeing Michelle in the Jeep putting the signs up? Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, Sylvie. All of a sudden, this person comes out of the woodworks. I don't believe it at all. He has cameras, okay? Guys, he's not admitting to these cameras and he's not showing pictures that he gets from the cameras unless he thinks the pictures would make it look like or would make it seem like it came from the truck, okay? He has cameras directly across on Tubetown facing her property. Okay. He can hear them having conversations on his own. That's why when he says he has a mole, he doesn't actually have a mole. He can hear them himself.
Damn
Because
it,
he
I'm a
listens-
mole.
Yeah. But he listens himself. Okay. He has cameras. He knows whether or not they left their house that night to do it. Number one, he knows because he probably did it before going up to Ohio. He was there on Saturday. He was in Ohio Sunday and then back again on Monday. Okay. He probably put him out there himself, told them to go get it, his friends to go get it, and they weren't out there long at all. And then the other thing is, if somebody really wanted them to see it, why were they inward more and then not close to the road? You know how when you drive wherever there's voting signs and stuff, they were all like
Yeah.
at the edge of the road. The signs that were found, Teresa and Brett said they couldn't even see them from the road, and they were in more, like way more in than any other ones. Why is that? So
No,
nobody
Todd.
would really see them, huh?
No,
just
Todd. He's accusing Super Dave, and I'm sick of him accusing Super Dave. So I said, "Fuck it, I'm the mole."
Yeah, and then he goes off on Super Dave last night too, trying to make it look like it was Super Dave or Dave Helm that is trying to make a deal.
Right. Just like he was saying you were trying to make a deal.
Yeah, which never happened. Dave is an attorney. Dave got himself an attorney. Okay. Bruce is an attorney. No. Who else? John and Michelle. You think they're making deals? No. Dave never got served. I'm the only one that got served, aside from Marlo. So, no one else has been served yet. So, it definitely wasn't me. I got way too much evidence against him to prove he's been lying this whole time. Why would I go to make a deal with him?
I don't get it. I don't understand him. And I don't know why things amaze me, because everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And it's all he does is lie.
You would just think you're getting caught. You would think, look, dude, you're getting caught. You better freaking slow down or you better stop because you're getting caught in your lies. And he still just lies.
He just gets deeper. He gets deeper.
That's crazy. And I don't know. Here's the thing. Okay, so why is he thinking that you and Richard got served? Is he just lying to his people, or is Shockett lying to him? Why does he really think and believe so hard that you guys got served? Shockett knows you didn't get served.
I don't know. I don't
so
get
who's
it.
lying? Is it Jeremy or is Shockett lying to him? No deal. 9 cents. Thank you, hon. Thank you so much. I think it's what I think he said it would be in their best interest if they would just admit to doing the other signs. But you don't understand. Okay, so he says he went and he got an expert witness, right, about these signs. Well, the expert witness he got seems to think that 3 of the signs. Now, by the way, the sign started as 3, then it was 7, then it was 9, then it was 11, then it was like 13. Okay, so I really don't know how many original signs there were. There are signs that look like they were written in 2 different color markers and 2 different handwritings. Okay, to me, okay, that's what it looks like. His expert witness found that 3 of the signs matched Michelle's handwriting. Okay, not in whole. Okay, but enough to say that it looked like it could be Michelle's handwriting. the handwriting examples that she was given were Michelle's handwriting from filings that she to sue him or whatever, or to get the restraining order against him, right? That's what he showed his handwriting expert. Okay. Well, Michelle got a handwriting expert. Bruce did. Okay. And this handwriting expert that Bruce got happens to be the dean of the handwriting school that Jeremy's expert went to. Okay. If y'all heard this before, I'm sorry. So his son owns the handwriting school. He was the dean of the handwriting school. This guy's got 30 plus years of experience. Okay. Has been on all kinds of cases, both in the United States and abroad. Okay. And has plenty of experience. His expert is a dental hygienist that does it part-time. Okay. So that, whatever, this is just facts. Okay. He goes and he gets, Michelle's expert gets all kinds of samples of Michelle's handwriting. Okay. He gets specific handwriting samples. Okay. That was asked of Michelle. And he compared her handwriting to the handwriting of the signs, the same images pretty much that, Jeremy's handwriting expert got. And then he asked for other people's handwriting examples. So we sent them quite a few people's handwriting examples. One in which I thought could have been one of the people that wrote the sign. And Robbie, you remember that? I thought for damn sure it was one person.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he asked for more examples of Jeremy's handwriting. And more examples of Jeremy's handwriting. And more examples of Jeremy's handwriting. And his report states that although certain things, look like Michelle, whatever, it looks like they were made to look like Michelle's handwriting. But Michelle did not write these. But it looks like someone tried to forge her writings. And at further research and examining other people's handwritings, it looks like this person is the one who actually forged them. And guess who that person was? From his expert opinion, it was Jeremy. It was Jeremy that wrote the sign and tried to make it look like Michelle wrote them. And that's the expert opinion. Is that me defaming him? No, that's not. That's me reading a report. Okay. Oh, we hit go. Whoop, whoop. We're doing a giveaway. What time is it? All right, so let's get that hashtag up there.
Get your hashtag up because I'm going to bed at 1.
I'm getting it up. Hold, please. All right, what should the hashtag be? Let's be Stacy. Remember for 10 months. Wow. That's crazy. Look, all right, hashtag is gonna be oh no.
Pony boy.
Pony boy. The only pony boy I really remember though is from the Outsiders. Yeah. Everybody's saying pony boy.
My gators are bellowing.
Are they?
Yeah.
How many times he just stopped talking about a subject situation because he's wrong? Yeah. Oh yeah. We proved that the property was the memorial and everything. It was on Tina and Brian's property. Have you heard anything? Has he said a word about it?
Nope.
I need to get one, man. Let me get one. Pony boy?
Go pony boy.
Oh. Leave unicorns alone. I was going to say unicorns for everybody. Unicorns for all. Oh man! All right, let me share this so y'all can see it. All right, there we go. Boom. Okay. So I want to thank Leslie for coming on tonight, and talking, all hanging out with us, and we're gonna be doing this Mondays. I did think we were gonna have some stuff to go over, which we ended up having Bruce's motion to dismiss anyway. Oh wow, guys, and don't forget tomorrow morning at 10, the jury room is happening. It's on Leslie's channel, and it's going to be streaming on here, I believe, as long as I can make it happen. And I believe, I'm not sure if Super Dave is going to be doing it, but check out the jury room. I believe Michael Volpe, Rich is going to be there, Bruce is going to be there. I'm supposed to be there. Hopefully I'll be awake. But I'll show you a quick clip, actually. Let me see. Did I upload it? Let me see. We'll play the clip. All right, it's loading. Debbie needs hashtag. Oh, I'm like, I will watch replay. Hi, Lindsay. Oops, let's see. Let me see. Just checking on her. Terry trial is on then. Oh, I'm pretty sure you might see a fan. It's only for an hour, and you might see a fan for a while. No, she shouldn't be upset. No,
She's not upset. She lost internet.
It's in the AM.
We're in Florida. It's probably raining over there. They're in Orlando. It was raining here a little while ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Didn't even know. Leslie rocks. That's funny. How many we got? We got 82. 82. Right. Oh my goodness. So Robbie, did you go to the flea market today?
No, today I did not. Chris and I had a bunch of stuff to do here at the farm. We did a bunch of tractor work and everything.
Is it your birthday, Boudica?
Happy birthday, Boudica.
Did I miss Boudica's birthday? It is Boudica's birthday. Yes! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, honey.
And many more.
Awesome. Yay. I love birthdays. I love birthdays. Oh, is it up? Okay. So check this out, guys. This is a video for the jury room, which is Tuesdays at 10 a.m. How's it like that? That was cool. We lost Robbie.
No, I'm here. I'm just watching it right now because it's a little bit behind.
The intro music reminds you a little of 1980s horror movie. Well, court cases can be
That was
horror
cool.
movies. I look like I have no neck in it
God,
though.
my gators are going nuts, dude.
Really? They're mating, huh?
Yeah, they're bellowing like crazy. Must mean it's gonna rain or something.
Yeah, 10 a.m. Florida time. I'm going to be well, it's going to be on Leslie's channel. It's going to be on here, and it might be on Super Days, I think, tomorrow. As long as I'm awake, it's going to be on here. But it's going to be on Leslie's channel as well. We're going to try and like stream it all at the same time, but if I'm not able to stream it through her program, I will be showing it live on here. The walls are yes, they are. Thank you, Bonnie.
Because the temperature dropped and it just was raining a little bit ago. Not yet, Rini. I just showed a picture of her on my post tonight, earlier this afternoon. She's full of eggs and she's been building the nest, so any day now. But the temperature dropped, so it'll cause them to bellow.
Okay, so I don't have the good updates on the Karen Reed trial, but Kendra definitely does. But I was watching some of it today. I can't stand the whole fan thing. Every time I look at the damn thing, it's showing the fan. It's showing the fan in the air, which means there's a sidebar. But what I saw them doing today in court was talking to a pathologist expert, and she was going over. Remember that injury we showed of Oki's arm with all the bite marks and stuff on it?
Yeah.
Clearly stated that it's a dog bite. That's a dog attack. But when she used the word attack, the judge restricted the last word. I'm like, why? It's really weird, some of the stuff that she's striking. Like, they can't answer a certain way. I'm like, why? Look, it is obvious to the eye that those marks on his arm was clearly 2 holes from the mouth and the claw scratches on either side of that bite, which means the dog, grabbed the hold of his arm and was holding him with his paws. You know what I mean? It clear as day was what those markings are.
That's why they got rid of the dog.
Yeah. And so that's the part that I saw today. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. Like, only a freaking rocket scientist needed to know that. She is definitely biased. So, and then she asked, okay, so I forget what part this was too, because I ended up not watching the rest of it. But she went on a sidebar and then said, okay, well, we're going to have like an hour lunch today too. So a couple more questions was asked, and then they stopped her on answering a question, and like in the middle of it, clearly just stopped her and said, all right, we're going to take our lunch. It's like she couldn't stand the questioning or the questions that were being asked. So she went to lunch and just got it out of their heads real fast. I'm like, it's not working. Whoever's on this jury would be a freaking idiot to vote to put this woman away. There's no way. There's no way. That guy was definitely attacked by a dog. This morning they questioned the cop who lied. Really? Before that lady? Yeah, because I started watching it around, like, I guess 11. Something. Actually, no, maybe like 1 o'clock. I don't know. It's right before they went to lunch. And I still was seeing the fan. I barely saw some questions asked. Sidebar and a fan. Yep. I thought, why am I bothered? I might as well just wait till later and then forward through all this crap. And I saw in my feed, okay, so you know how there's a whole bunch of like channels covering the Diddy case or talking about Diddy, and it's like you go to if you go to click on one of them, it's like there's some like fake story that making it up with a narrator on it. I don't know. I don't believe any of those stories, but like they literally had one up there that Brad Pitt was on the stand. That Brad Pitt was a witness and Jack Nicholson went up as a witness. Is there any truth to Jack Nicholson? Because Jack Nicholson, that one looked real. I didn't even bother to click on it though.
I
Has
don't
any
know.
people gone up and been a witness yet? Roll that thing, will you, Lisa? Hang on. 92. Let's see how many more we can get. What is that?
Okay, you got your 2-minute warning because it's already 107 now.
You're always rushing me, Robbie. All right, guys, get the hashtags in there because we are going to be drawing in 2 minutes. Sorry for your same band, but start a love song, not melody. So I don't know. I don't know if any of these people are true. They're gonna be witnesses. You got mosquitoes up there right now?
Night, Reenie. God bless and prayers, honey.
Nicholson and Jack Black. They're actually being interviewed. Well, not interviewed, but they're actually going on the stand. That's crazy. So he did not mask what she said to the FBI. Oh my goodness. All right, we're at 93. So only one added. 90. Alrighty. Let's take a look. See. Let me get to that. All right. Oh, okay, Leslie's service went out in her neighborhood for sure. All right, so we're at 94. The FBI is heavily involved. 94, 96. All right, get him in there. Hurry up. Get him in there. Oh, 97. I was actually shocked. I woke up earlier this year for a shot and cats. Pony boy. I actually like the Outsider movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. I know it's been 2 minutes. Chill out, Peculiar, okay?
Has it? Yes. You got 1 minute. I'm in bed.
Shut up, Robbie.
I am.
Doing it. It's your sleeping wake up.
I have to
All
be.
right, so we got 97 entries. Here we go. Ready? I'm going to draw right now. Boom. Sylvie, Angel. Oh my God. Okay. I give up. Trying to call everybody. Body, bearded, Rod, Angel, John Cook. Awesome.
John Cook.
John Cook.
There you go.
Congratulations, John. Whoop, whoop. That's the first time you ever won on here. Awesome. Whoop, whoop. He probably fell asleep. It's like he wakes up enough to get that in there and then falls asleep. Bye, Peculiar. Yeah, I think he's sleeping. All right, John Cook. I like when guys win because I change it around a lot as far as what the giveaways are. It's cool. So.
All right, I am going to say good
Oh my goodness,
night and God bless and prayers to everybody. And ta-ta for now.
All right. Good night, Robbie. I'm all alone. Somebody, I bet you had to pee.
What?
Oh, you're
What?
still there. Like, I bet you had to pee. You're rushing off so fast.
No, because I got to be up at 7.
What are you doing at 7?
I got so much stuff to do around here. And then we got to do the hot room tomorrow. And then they're coming to pick up the tractor to fix it.
Right on.
So,
All right. Well, I guess I will sign off as well. It's late. We've done the giveaway. It's Monday. I hope everybody had a good start to their week. And if not, start over again tomorrow.
Exactly.
Tomorrow is Tuesday. So don't forget, 10 a.m. As long as I make it, I'm awake. We'll be doing a jewelry room, but check out Leslie's channel. And you can also check Super Dave. I'm not sure how he's going to be logging on or whatever, but I think he's supposed to air it too. But Michael Volpe, Richard, Bruce, Leslie, possibly Super Dave, me will be there as long as I'm awake. So that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time here. And then I'll be back at 10 p.m. tomorrow night for our Tidbit Tuesdays. So thank you all for hanging out. So thank you for supporting this channel. And you guys rock. Check out our mods channels, don't forget. And prayers out to everyone who needs some and to those who don't. So again, we'll see you soon. Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh, Bonnie did it. Toodaloo. Bye.